All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you. I can push this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Out here once again with another weekly edification, letting you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans know you are the children of Israel according to the scriptures. All right, we're in this here kingdom that the scripture calls Babylon the Great, the final stage of Esau's rulership. All right, in the last days, man. All right, and as we continue to go on, all right, more and more prophecy is being fulfilled, man, at a rapid rate. All right, it says, let me read this, as a matter of fact, to start out real quick. This is Matthew 24. Oh, Salakia. Matthew, hang on. It's Matthew, Salakia. Matthew 24, verse 21. All right, it says, "For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no nor ever shall be." All right, and hey, that's where we at right now. We're gonna touch on to this this here topic, or at least what I had planned, but hey, we're gonna move where the spirit moves. All right, but nevertheless, we're in a time now where you're having more and more great tribulations facing the earth. All right, famines, plagues, pestilence, all right, uproars of the people. All these are signs of the end. All right, you have people that are and this week has been a heavy week in prophecy as far as the switch up with the switch up of things when it goes to how do you say, the war drums being beaten. All right, Lord's we'll touch on that as well too. But you see a lot of these different things, a lot of these different narratives. We've been saying certain things for since the beginning. All right, this here conflict and everything else going on over there in Ukraine. People called us all kind of different things and stuff like that. You see on the news and the media about oh, Ukraine is winning this here war and everything else like that, and all these different things is going on. But what are the actual actions that you're seeing going on, man? All right, you have what they're saying and then the actual effects of things, man. The weatherman can tell you outside, oh, this is a beautiful day, it's sunshine, not a rain cloud in sight. It's just a beautiful day, and you go outside and it's a damn hurricane going on outside, man. What do you believe? Do you believe what's actually, the effects of the things that you see going on around you, or what somebody is telling you, man? Oh, he's supposed to be the expert. They're not supposed to be lying to you about these certain things. Like, look, you can call it whatever you want to call it, man. When I go outside and I face this here storm, I can tell you it's a storm outside, man, regardless of what they're telling you on TV, man. All right, and this is what you see going on. All right, now we've been prophesying about a lot of these things. All right, as the scriptures say, a lot of these different, final prophecies are coming to a head. All right, and hey, you seeing them shaping up, all right before your eyes, man. So now is a hard time to wake up out of sleep. All right, now is the time to how do I say, let me see. Let me grab that real quick. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 1. It says, "But of the times and the seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you." All right. It says, well, let me just go into that. It says, "But of the times and the seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you." And just like if you've been set up to be a watchman, a man of the Lord. All right, amen. We don't have to sit here and consult with brothers on a day-to-day basis. Hey, did you see this is going on? Now we do these things, but nevertheless, it's not one of those things where you have to, and of course, we watch other brothers' videos and things like that, and they edify us that way. But it's not like a reminder, notification type scenario. Hey, because you're too busy watching, man. You already see these things. A lot of times, brothers will send out, articles to one another and everything else like that, and then, by the time you get the text message from them, and it's like, damn, I literally just looked at this here same article, man. I just saw this same thing. Or, hey, that's the spirit. I was just sending it to you, man. You know what I'm saying? Or, hey, you wound up sending a message to somebody else, and they've already seen it, man. All right, so, hey, these are the times that we're living in to where, hey, man, we don't necessarily have to tell one another, but, hey, it's just a spiritual thing that we do anyway. But, hey, we know what time it is when we're looking out here, man. All right, you see a lot of different things, and it's just like, yeah, because we at the end of this here bad boy, you know what I'm saying? I made that statement a couple times earlier this week about certain things, where it comes to, certain products, like, some of these cars. Now you're getting the most badass cars that you can, like, who, you selling these damn Hellcats and things like that. Like, who need that kind of goddamn power in a car anyway? Like a factory car. Like, you can go build you a car. Well, who need that kind of power coming from a factory car? Like, hey, well, they know we at the end of this bad boy, so fuck it. Let's just throw the whole kitchen sink at it real quick, because, hey, this is it anyway, man. And as you can see, they getting to the end of this here so-called, like gasoline engines. They trying to go eco or electric vehicles and things like that. So, well, hey, we at the end of the road anyway, so let's just go ahead and throw everything we got at it, man. And then sometimes you see with other products, they come out with this here New Year's version of it. all right, and they hype it all up. As soon as release date come out, it's just like, look, we sold out. You know, we backed up for a couple months. Like, how the hell y'all gonna release something that y'all normally release year after year? Like I was saying this about the PlayStations and Xboxes, you know, and I hadn't looked into those in quite a while, but I'm pretty sure it's the same old still story. You know, you can't go to Walmart and just go inside and just go buy you a PlayStation like all the other PlayStations before it. Hey man, whenever they said that the release date was there, you could just go to the damn store and go buy your damn PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? And they've always had them in the shelves, man. All right, if they didn't have it at this location, they had it at the next location. But now, I believe it's been what, two and a half, maybe even 3 years since the PlayStation 5s came out, man. And like I said, you know, I hadn't checked, but 9 times out of 10, you still can't go up into the Walmart to go buy you one, man. All right, they make you jump through all kind of different loops to get these things. It's like, hey, man, they know that we're at the end, so why invest all this here money into trying to produce all these different things? Let's just get what we can get and keep it moving. Same with some of the new cars. But they give you excuses. Hey, man, it's a chip shortage of this, it's a chip shortage of that. Hey, well then, why don't you just hold off that model? Look, we was going to release one this year, but we don't have the resources to sit here and create this, so we're not even going to release it until we have all the products. But hey, knowing that you're at the end, go ahead and grab up as much money as you can. All right, but the same thing, you know, when it comes times to, like the scripture say, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. All right, mentally and spiritually, detach yourself from this here place, man. All right, the brethren, we know about these things, man. Hey, man, it's not no, you know, times to be looking at certain things. It's like, you know, hey, we have the mindset of certain things like this, you know, looking at certain things like, you know, oh man, my car, man, you know what? I mean, I can't ride this bad boy all the way out to the end of time. Or, you know what I'm saying, I can go get another car, you know what I'm saying? Because let's just say something a little smaller, minor, or something, you know, something that's repairable. But you're just like, man, you know what? Fuck it, it's time for a new car. Trying to go upgrade or do something like that. Like, do I really want to go and do all that right now? Or fuck it, we can have this. You think like that, like, I'm gonna have this to the end of the world. You know what I'm saying? The end of this here lifetime, man. Oh, the things that you have right now, like you can see it and taste it. You know, brothers think like this, man. Oh, this is gonna be the last car I buy for the rest of my life. You know, this is gonna be the last phone I buy for this. Hopefully, this is the last. You know what I'm saying? Things that I buy, the last couple outfits, the last new pair of shoes I buy. You know, saying these things as far as measuring the times diligently, knowing where we at in this here place, man. And it's not a far-fetched thing because, hey, man, you know, we hasten to the day of the Lord. So, you know, and when you think about it like that, it's like, look, man, we hoping that the Lord makes His return within what, the next year, next 2 years or something like that. So, what's the big deal about saying, hey, man, hey, look, Lord's will, I bought this here. This is my last phone that I bought for the next 2 years. But hey, before them 2 years is up, hope Lord's will that we be up out of here. You know, I can see myself having this car for another year, another 2 years. Lord's will, you know, I'll be in this bad boy till the missiles drop, man. You know what I'm saying? The last pair of shoes I bought for the next year or so. So these things, when you think about it like that, you know, in a so-called, straightforward type of sense, it's like only a year or 2 years. But hey, the minute of the Lord, we think, hey, man, these are our last 2 years we're going to be here, Lord's will, man. The last year we're going to be here, Lord's will, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, this is going to be the last, you know, whatever. The last TV I had to buy, the last radio I had to buy, the last whatever I had to buy, man, for the next year or so, man. Hey, man, so we know, you know, we're not in one of those type of mindsets where people are saying, hey, look, well, go ahead and let's just say like 5 cars, you buy them off in 5 years and things like that, you know. Oh, I'm going to buy this here car and then in about 5 or 6 more years, I'll trade this one in for the new version. Like, Lord's will, we're not going to be here to be, there ain't going to be no new version of this bad boy. Lord's will, this is going to be the last one that they make. So we don't have to write and to convince to one another, look, man, we're not going to be here for that amount of time, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, hey, you speaking to a brother or something like that, he getting to that certain age, just got out of high school or something. Man, I plan on going to, college, or there's a term for it, but I go to college for the first 2 years, and then go to college, the actual college, about 4-year college after that. You be looking at that brother strange, you be like, look, man, hey, like, now granted, we could still be here for all that, you know what I'm saying? And if, you know, you got a little scenario where you need that to get your little job, you know, not to say to just go ahead and quit your job, but like, hey, bro, that's you know, you thinking about investing too much time in this here bad boy, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, we are going to have things that's popping off until the very, very end of time. You know, it's not like saying, hey, man, you know what? The Lord's will, the Lord return beforehand, so I ain't even going to go and get me an apartment or nothing like that, man. I'm going to just stay with so-and-so until the missiles drop. Nah, man, you don't know how long you're going to be here. Think about the brothers that came in this thing 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? 30 years ago. They hasten the day of the Lord, but think about that, man. Hey, man, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and just quit my job now. And Lord's will, the Lord return before then, man. You be stuck out there right about now, man. All right, but hey, you know, again, we're hastening the day of the Lord, but we know that, you know, by constantly watching, you know what I'm saying? We know, how do you say, the temperature of this here bad boy, man. We know the temperature of the water because we constantly checking, man. Looking at the news, looking at the prophecies, and looking at these things coming to pass, man. We can understand it's like, look, man, hey, the day of our salvation is getting closer and closer, man. You know, As the scripture goes, it says, your salvation is nearer than what we believe. All right, salvation is right there at the door, man. And how can we tell all these things, man? All right, we measure the time diligently based off the prophecies, you know, first and foremost, but also looking at certain things. The CBDC is being forced and pushed on the planet, man, in the law. All right, the global economic collapse, which we, you know, Lord's will, I'll touch on that as well too. But hey, man, we in some hard times right about now, man. All right, you know, and for most people, it's like how do I say? Some people, you're not gonna really see it or feel it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can speak for myself, man. You know, now granted, I'm not no rich person or nothing like that by no means necessary, but it's not to the fact, you know what I'm saying? Hey, the Lord provide me with my daily bread. We'll just put it that way. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like you know, I'm out over here making life choices and life decisions. Hey, matter of fact, I'll give you a quick testimony about that, man. The other day I was I walked in a Publix, you know what I'm saying? I was gonna go grab me some of the Publix wings and shit like that, you know. Walked in, grabbed me some wings up real quick, and I was walking out. I seen another Jake that was right there, right? Now, again, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I ain't rich or nothing like that, made out of money or nothing like that, but hey, you know, just the mindset, you know, and you know, as a testimony, hey, man, the Lord will provide for you. You never know. And I'm also not the type to just be giving out money to when people be asking, you know what I'm saying? It just hit me in my spirit. So anyway, walking out the Publix, and there's Jake sitting right there, and he's like, hey, brother, hey, you can spare some cash or something, some money or something like that, man. I'm hungry out here. I'm like, look, bro, I don't carry cash on me, you know what I'm saying? But I'm walking out with these wings, and then just in an instant, didn't even think about it, you know, it never even crossed my mind. And the Spirit told me, just give me your food, right? You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and give me your wings. Like, hey, man, look, I don't carry no cash, but here, take the food, you know what I'm saying? Boom, gave him the wings and everything else like that. Went back inside, grabbed me another box of wings, you know what I'm saying? Came outside, and I also, you know, grabbed some cash back, gave him a little 20, right? Before I could even now, you know, if you understand how the store's set up, you walk in the store, there's one sliding door you walk into, and that's where all the carts are, and then there's another little set of doors you walk into the actual grocery store. Now, he's in there where the carts and shit is at, right? By the time I get outside the second door, you know what I'm saying? Boom, you know what I'm saying? You know, a phone ring basically, you know what I'm saying? And then I own a little small business, right? Phone ring, boom, another customer called me. Boom, hey, we need, you know, we want you to hook us up and everything, whoop-de-whoop, right? So, hey, man, shit, you know what I'm saying? And it didn't even dawn on me till after the fact, you know what I'm saying? The Lord say, hey, man, you know, you never know. Hey, I don't know who that was, you know what I'm saying? Whether he might be hey, I don't know if he was I know it was a Jake, you know what I'm saying? But who knows if he, you know, is a brother, somebody preaching the word somewhere else out there don't know about him. Could it even be an angel just to see what's going on? But you know what I'm saying? Like I said, it never even crossed my mind. Like, look, here you go, boom. You know what I'm saying? By the time I got out there, hey, look at how the Lord blessed me with, you know, a new customer, man. That's some more extra money in my pocket coming in monthly, man. Comparably to what I just gave, hey, man, that's, you know what I'm saying? Thinking about that in an investment with the Lord, but nevertheless to say, you know, going back to the original statement about not knowing how bad things are for everybody else, all right? Because I was able to just go in there and go grab me some food real quick, you know, but hey, people will be right there around you that just can't afford these things, man. You know what I'm saying? I was riding down the street the other day, seen around the corner where they had the police posted up, and they, you know, you could kind of see, because like where the storm happened, you know, a lot of these trees that fell down, so it's a lot of the little shit that's looking messed up. But seeing the police and them going over there, and just a bunch of tents was all up in the woods that you couldn't really see beforehand. But hey, now the police is over there pulling these people about their tents and everything. Hey, y'all can't live here over here, you know, so on and so forth, man. Seeing more and more people living in their cars and stuff like that, man. You know, we got a little bridge that we walk up and down. It's like you see so many damn people living over there, living in the back of U-Haul trucks and everything else like that, man. Hey, so it's tough out here for people, man. And these aren't people that just look like, you know, and I always tell folks, you know, as an observer of these things, you know what I'm saying? Because again, like I said, some people you may not be able to feel it. You yourself personally may not be able to understand what this is like, you know? You know, there's different levels and degrees of these things. You know, you got people that go in the grocery store, don't even check the price of nothing. Just grab whatever they need and get up out of there. You have some folks that have to go in there with coupons. They got a little certain amount, you know, if they budget in a correct way. You know what I'm saying? All these different things. But, you know, you have some people, like I said, that are homeless, but that's not like the normal homeless folks. It's just living outside in a tent, living on the sidewalk, sleep on the sidewalk and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's a different scenario when you see folks living in their cars, man. You know what I'm saying? Living in situations like that, because, like, wait a minute. Now, you got a car right now. Not to say you have, you know, you're supposed to have insurance on your car, but hey, and a lot of these people look like they do have insurance on their car, because again, you can tell by, you know, certain situations, but they got their whole damn livelihood inside this damn car, man, and don't even look like, you know, and how the hell you keep putting gas in your car, man? Oh, and you go to work every damn day? So this ain't just like your regular homeless people, man. These are your working homeless, man. So showing me that they just fell on hard times, man. All right, so going into these things like that, man, hey, again, not everybody's in the same spot, but we can look at these things and measure the times diligently. Look at it. Hey, man, look, we getting to the end of this here bad boy, man. Economically, everybody is in straits right about now, man. All right, so hey, from one way to the other way, man. All right, again, you do have some people that are a little better off than others, where some people are like, hey, man, I can still afford to go do this and still afford to go do that. Where you have some people's like, hey, man, I can't afford to do any of these things, man. I can't afford an extra $40 to go out to eat this here month. You know what I'm saying? And, you look at a lot of these restaurants, and then, I had this conversation with somebody else too. Like, hey, man, people ain't got that kind of money to just be going out to eat daily. When the hurricane came, right? There's a lot of people that was out of electricity, for almost a week on end. All right, now one of the things that the crisis that happened here, besides the hurricane, you know what I'm saying, was people being out of electricity. So, and I was like, look, there's a crisis that's going on right now that people aren't really seeing. All right, people, they got these generators. They got to constantly fill up the generators with gasoline. They got to constantly go to, again, going to Publix. Now, if you don't know about Publix, is a grocery store. Now, they was up in the Publix getting subs and everything else like that. And, for the first couple of days after the storm, they didn't even have none of the hot food ready, man. They weren't even cooking that stuff because they couldn't even keep the hot food up and ready for enough time. So they was just like, you know what? We just gonna put everybody on making subs and everything else like that and selling lunch meat. So, and I'm looking at this in fact, I'm like, look, man, these are people who, people are like, why don't they just go to a hotel? Why don't they go do this and why don't they go do that? A lot of people just living in their cars at that point in time because, hey, man, ain't no electricity at the crib. All right, it's like so, or living in a house with no electricity, man. All right, I'm thinking to myself, like, look, man, how much money is these people spending on extra gas that they wouldn't be normally spending money on right now, man? All right, before the storm came, they didn't have enough money to get gas to go from here to there. You know what I'm saying? Let alone to have a generator run around the clock for when they need electricity. All right, they didn't have extra money to be at the damn grocery store buying subs and everything else. Nah, bro, we ain't got no money for no damn subs, man. We only got money to buy our groceries for the week, and that's it. But now you got to buy a sub for today, sub for tomorrow, sub for the next day, all the way until your electricity come back on, man. So you're already in a tight spot, and this just made it even tighter for you to survive, man. All right, so hey, with all these different things, man, this is a weekend, people's economic situation, man. All right, and then not only here, but you have this is going on, in Europe when it comes to this energy crisis and things like that, man. All right, so hey, man, we see, and also we'll get to it, the uproars of the people that's uproaring about these things, man. All right, you seeing all these different people. It's like, look, bro, like we'll get to that a little later, talking about how, they're gonna disregard the kings and princes and actually still stand in their power. All right, and they're gonna be raiding the neighbors' homes for the lack of bread and the lack of resources. These are the things when people start lacking in resources and food, or they're economically bound by things. That's what makes people go crazy. There was this woman, I forgot where she was at, but I don't believe it was here in the States. I definitely know it wasn't in the States. Anyway, she went up into the damn bank and held the bank hostage so she can withdraw her money up out the bank. She's like, look, I need to get my money up out the bank. They weren't, really having it and everything because, hey, it was basically bank runs going on, man. So, hey, man, a homegirl went up in there with a fake gun, held them hostage just to get her little $2,000 out of $1,600 about the bank. You know what I'm saying? But that's a dire crisis, man. Hey, you run up in there, you're risking the chance of somebody calling the police shooting you in the whole action just for you to get your little $1,600 out. But, you might be like, oh, that's your little $1,600. But for her, that's the rest of her livelihood, man. All right, so, hey, people are already in the straits right now over these different things, man. People need these resources bad out here, man. So, hey, it's putting people in a tough economic spot. So, hey, bringing in forth that time, that great temptation is coming upon the earth. Hey, you want to eat or you not want to eat, man? All right, again, with the hurricane came around, you seen how people was out here at the gas stations and things like that, all right, filling up all kind of different, gas cans for everything else like that and extra gas. Hey, we gonna need this, we gonna need that. And then, hey, now we gonna cut off the pumps. And there's still a line out here. Hey, man, we'll buy some gas off y'all. We'll buy gas off y'all. How much y'all want for that canister of gas? Look, y'all put $10 in there, we'll give you $40 for it, man. You know what I'm saying? Things like, it's getting bad out there because, again, hey, that's all we gonna have for ourselves, man. All right, so, hey, man, it's gonna come to a point in time. They talking about over there in Europe, people about to start fighting over firewood, man. They got to lock down firewood, man. All right, certain grocery stores, they got these, how do you call them? These little, like, door alarms on food, door alarms on meats and everything else like that, man. All right, because people just going up in there and taking that bad boy, man. All right, so, hey, it's not like, you would see, like, the jewelry store, the Diamond District, all locked up and everything else like that, how you call them, TV, electronics and things like that, have these little devices on there right now. That's not even what people really stealing for right now, man. People trying to steal for food and groceries, man. Food, all right? Hey, and this is where we're coming to, man. All right, so hey, this is a point in time where we don't even have to tell you about these things, man. This here place is coming to a rapid end. Let's go back in that 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and 1. It says, but of the times and the seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord cometh as a thief in the night. And again, going back as far as us watching, all right, this is what, you know, we don't have to so-called remind one another the time frames that we in. Hey man, don't, you know, you over here worried about the wrong stuff right now, man. I'm about to go to, you know, graduated high school. I'm about to go to college for the next 6 years. When I do that, I'm gonna try to figure out what I'm gonna do in life. I'm gonna try to do this and do that. Hey man, we gotta remind you, bro. We at the end of this here, bad boy, man. You know, you don't need to be spending your time with all that. Look, man, you might try to sign up for college and everything for 6 years to go into college and 2 years into that bad boy. The Lord be came in return, man. Let us remind you of those. Hey man, no, we're not in those times like that, man. That's why I say, man, you should be able to see these things with your eyes wide open, man. Oh shit, we know what's coming around the corner. We see these things, especially with the war drones being beaten with the Ukraine and Russia situation, man. Hey, this thing can go up at you know, any moment, man. And again, you know, Lord's will speaking on this a little later. Hey, these are the things that's popping off right now, man. All right, you know, these final prophecies are shaping up to take place. All right, so there's no need for us to so-called warn you or write to you about these things. Hey man, we're in the end of the world. We're in the end of the world. We're in the end of the world. You know, or people comment on your videos. Hey man, how come y'all always talking about doom and gloom? How come y'all always talking about this and that? Can you go into this here subject? Can you go into that subject? Can you go, like, look, man. Yeah, I mean, we can go into some of these subjects, but look, what's expedient? All things are lawful, but not expedient. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we can go into these things, but what's the importance of, like, what do you need more of right about now, man? You know what I'm saying? You know, in a medical scenario, right? Let's just say, hey, would you rather learn how to turn a tourniquet right now when you shot in the battlefield and bleeding and wounded? What's more important for you to learn about applying a proper tourniquet, all right, to stop the bleeding? Or is it more important for you to learn how to, I don't know, you know, do what do you call, mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, CPR? Well, the nigga ain't choking or nothing like that. He ain't suffocating or nothing like that. He over here, he shot with a gunshot wound to his arm. So CPR is not really relevant at that point in time. Yeah, we could teach you CPR. That's part of the medical course in its, you know, in total. But right now, you need to learn how to learn how to tie a tourniquet, man. There's no point in me. All right, we're gonna put the tourniquet, lesson to the side, teach you CPR. By the time you learn CPR, this nigga done bled out from his gunshot wound to his arm, man. So hey, these are the times that we're living in right now. The things that are more important that we're talking about right now, man. All right, as you can see, all these different things, man. Yeah, you should be asking all these questions. You should have your eyes onto this Russia-Ukraine scenario, China-Taiwan scenario. All right, America and their allies, the OPEC scenario with Saudi Arabia and them. All right, America being cut off by their allies, man. That's a major building block to this end time prophecy, man. All right, these are some major things that's going on right now in the news that, you know, if you ain't got the eyes to see these things, you know what I'm saying? And again, the men of the Lord are here to tell you about these things. But hey, man, for the regular Jake that's out there, that's like, what the hell Saudi Arabia got to do with us and oil and everything, bro? We straight. Like, we this, who the hell is Saudi Arabia? Them Muslims anyway. Like, bro, y'all know them America's allies over there. You know, America propped them up to be able to get the gas. That's why America's so strong and so on and so forth, because of the resources that they got from over there. That's not just no whatever fuck them niggas over there type of nation. Like, you know what I'm saying? The world, they not like Iraq or something like that, man. The world is not gonna be the same. You know, you get rid of your allyship with Saudi Arabia, man. For either side, well, for Saudi Arabia, they may benefit, but as far as on the other side, hey man, look, just know that there's gonna be a fight over those resources, man. Because every time anybody deals with oil, taking oil away, or selling their oil in a different type of currency than the American dollar, man. All right, America go to war with them people, man. All right, and right now, you know, America's propped up. You know, Saudi Arabia is like one of the major oil suppliers of the earth. All right, and now they was, you know, pretty much under the, you know, the puppet, how you call it, the, you know, being a puppet of America, more or less to say. But now, hey, they breaking away right about now, man. So now America's like, look, bro, like, you know, we can't use y'all as a proxy no more. This is going to be a problem, man. We can't just let all this here oil money go to waste like that, or go to another country, i.e. Russia right now, man. We're going to have problems with these things. So now all of a sudden we have to go to war over these different resources, man. All right, you seen what happened, like I said, with Saddam Hussein in Iraq, man. He decided he wanted to sell his oil on a different currency. They went and invaded his country overnight, man. So we'll see what's going on with this, you know. And like I said, Saudi Arabia ain't no Iraq, man. All right, you know, America really can't, you know, be on the same playing field without Saudi Arabia, man. Now America has their own oil. They got oil they can get from other places as well too. But Saudi Arabia is that big global producer, man. All right, things is gonna change overnight like that, man. There's a huge difference. All right, but hey, this is like General Motors downsized with some of their companies. Yeah, we can let the company Saturn go. Saturn ain't as big as us letting Chevrolet go, the Chevrolet branch go, man. Now we ain't gonna let Chevrolet go. We gotta keep Chevrolet, man. We can get rid of Saturn. Saturn don't really sell that many cars, but Chevrolet, bro, you let Chevrolet go, it's gonna be some major problems out here, man. All right, but hey, look at what's going on with America and their ally shit, man. Look at how NATO is rocking with them right about now, man. All right, or the EU, we'll say. All right. Let's go back into the second or 1 Thessalonians 5:1. But at the times and the seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord shall cometh as a thief in the night. All right, and that's again to those that aren't watching, man. All right, you're gonna get caught unaware with these things, man. Hey, right now you got a lot of damn simple ass Americans that's just still following trends. Oh, support Ukraine, and everything else like that. Just screaming that shit just because, man. Got it up on their profile pictures, got the Ukrainian flag up on their profile pictures just because, man, you be surprised how many times you go scrolling through YouTube comment sections, and I'm pretty sure on these other social media platforms, but you go through this, YouTube comment boards and everything else like that, and you see the backgrounds of the Ukraine flag or somebody else, and then they got an American-ass name or some shit like that, and you can tell that they're Americans from the shit that they be saying or wherever they from. It might not even be a video on Ukraine or nothing like that. You might be watching a damn cooking video channel or something like that, or something about somewhere in Savannah or something like that, Savannah Historic Site. And they be like, yeah, we live right around the corner from this here shit, blah, 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 and so on and so forth. And they ain't got nothing to do with Ukraine, but their background picture is Ukraine, man. Talking about some support Ukraine, man. These are the people that's going to get caught unaware. They have no idea what the hell is going on, all right? One day they're going to just wake up with that text message going off about, hey, incoming nuclear missiles and things like that, man. But yet and still, all last week, what was the hot topic of if Russia would use nukes on America, or if Russia was going to use nukes on Ukraine, all right? Hell, you got some people that don't even believe that the nukes are real. These smart dumb niggas that's on YouTube, and I don't know, like, I be like, I don't know if they that stupid or if they didn't got paid off by, Esau and his little agents and stuff like that to sit there and push and promote shit like that. But hey, man, have you ever seen a nuke before? I'm like, nigga, there's some shit that you ain't. Have you ever seen an American tank before? You ain't never really seen no American tank. Don't mean that them shits don't exist, man. All right, you ain't seen some of the shit that some of the regular American military equipment. Some of that shit you ain't never seen in your life, but don't mean it don't exist. You ever seen a U.S. aircraft carrier in real life? Like, nah, you ain't never seen one of them shits in real life. Don't mean they don't exist, man. The hell you talking about out here? You ever seen a frigate or something like that? A U.S. submarine? That don't mean that shit don't exist just because you ain't never seen one. Oh, y'all ain't never seen no nukes before. How you know that the nukes exist? Look, man, the scriptures tell us about all these things, man. All right, the elements melting, all right, and burning with fervent heat, all right, making the land a complete waste. All right, what kind of weapons would be able to do all those things, man? All right, and they've got video of them testing. Not even like, it's not even no real comparison to the shit that they got videos of them testing to the reality of what they really got nowadays, man. Because the shit that they didn't tested in the old path, that's some old primitive shit, man. All right, that's just like saying, look, man, hey, look, we got videos of horse-drawn chariots and the incredible speeds that they would have, like in the chariot races. This shit get up to 35 miles an hour. I'm like, well, that's the shit that they didn't tested. We got Lamborghinis now, but we ain't never really tested the Lamborghini to say how fast it is. That's the comparison to the shit that they got going on. I'm like, bro, that's a whole different game changer right here. This is not the same as what they talking about, man. You done seen the effects of atomic warfare, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, man. But then you had this I forgot, damn, it just slipped my mind, the other type of missiles or the other type of nuclear bombs that they have, basically, right? You got the hydrogen bombs and everything else like that, man. All right, you got these different levels of these things, man. All right, and then you have going back to the atomic bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, man. That's just like using a little small firecracker, man. All right, and then the next level up is like using a stick of dynamite or something like that. And then the next level up from that shit is the thermonuclear missiles, man. That's like an actual nuclear bomb comparably to a firecracker, man. A little firecracker you can put in an ant pile, you can destroy that little ant pile, and boom. You know what I'm saying? A little stick of dynamite, you might be able to split a tree in half. But then you drop a damn nuke, it's gonna level the whole damn neighborhood, man. All right, but hey, this is what they got nowadays, man. All right, and they, how do I say? They haven't used these things on anybody, but hey, man, we know that, because they'll tell you in comparison the amount of size and the payload, because all it is like, you have one little firecracker, then you got like a 10-pack of those same firecrackers. You're gonna, make it 10 times that much more powerful, man. So they have the different levels of these things out nowadays to be able to tell you, about how powerful they are. hey man, it's like no comparison, man. You know, they had what was it? The Tsar Bomba was the largest bomb that was ever tested. All right, from Russia. It's called the Tsar Bomba. All right, big ass bomb that went off. But again, that shit is small in comparison to these thermonuclear missiles that they got nowadays, man. All right, so hey, there's no comparison to these things, man. All right, and then you know they also got small level, high yield, you know, multiple different yields of these bombs, like you know, tactical nukes and everything else like that. But hey, man, in a nuclear war, man, you gonna just lock and load everything, let it all go, as the scriptures say. All right, so hey, man, we know that all these things are coming to pass, man. All right, we can see all these things forming up in these latter-day prophecies to fulfill what the Lord's will, man. All right, so it's no surprising to us, man. We're not gonna get caught like a thief in the night. We're not gonna get caught unawares. But then, like I said, you got people that's out here that, for one, don't even know. I don't watch the news. Like, I got an uncle that's like that, man. All right, he called me about the hurricane, and when he was like, man, first thing, he was like, you know, nephew, I don't watch the news and nothing like that, but so and so, I called your mom, and she told me that such and such about the storm and everything else like that, because they was just calling just to talk to one another, and she happened to tell him about the storm. He's like, the storm? Then he called me, talking about something, hey, you know, nephew, I don't watch the news, and then the thing that popped up into my mind was, this nigga gonna get hit with a damn missile and not even know about it, man. What the fuck, a missile? What do I do with the missile in? How come I ain't get the memo and everything like that, man? Hey, man, you was caught unaware. You was caught like a thief in the night, man. A lot of y'all gonna just wake up in the spiritual realm like, what the hell happened, man? All right, well, really, you know, hey, man, you're gonna get your judgment, man. The Most High gonna make you understand your judgment. But, hey, these terrors gonna rise up around you, and you gonna be basically out there shitting bricks, man. Because you ain't gonna know what the hell to do, man. All right, the scripture tell us wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of our time. We're gonna know about these certain things. I can just only imagine and think about chariots pulling up. You know, you got Jake that's out here that don't know nothing about nothing. All right, I got another uncle that, you know what I'm saying, having a conversation with him, talking about something about, you know, he went through some shit, and then he was like, oh, he believed in God and the Bible and everything else like that, and then telling him about certain things in this end time. Well, I don't know if God would do all of that, or if God do all that, it ain't gonna be while I'm living. I'm like, bro, it's already taking place. I don't know what the hell you talking about. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you talking about. Like, you ever read this and read that? You ever read in Revelations about any of these things? Nah, I ain't never read in Revelation. That shit was too scary for me. So how the hell would you even know, man? All right, this is part of you getting caught like a thief in the night, man. All the signs and all the prophecies. And that's another thing. Most people that go to church and things like that, these so-called Christians, they don't understand. Especially, you know, Jake. It's prophecy, man. The Lord give you, like, again, man. I stress this a lot. You know, you can tell about how much somebody actually read into the scriptures and know about these things, because things are certain. The evidence is there, man. All right, you know somebody that done read the Bible like, oh, the Bible's a fairy tale. Like, nah, the Bible is a story about, from a group of people's perspective and their history going throughout time and the things that happen, man. All right, and then, you know, you have law, statutes, commandments that's also in there, how to live and everything else like that. But then you also know that there's prophecies in there, because the scriptures will tell you, hey, at this point in time, this will happen, that would happen. So you're aware of these things because why you've actually read through there, man. All right, you've actually read through, you know, like they have these little tests like this, man, where you read, it's like 1 through whatever, you know, 1 through 20, right? And they tell you, you know, read all the questions carefully first and this and that, but then you have somebody that just start running through and answering all the questions real quick, and then the very last one is like, look, don't fill in none of the answers to the question, just at the very top of your test, write the letter F on there or the letter Z on there or something like that, and this is how you complete the test with 100%. You know, but then it's like, you know, you've already went through the test and started marking all the answers, but you didn't read the directions fully, man. That will let you know that you didn't actually go through and read what you needed to read, because look, the evidence is there, man. All right, and I always say this all the time, man. You can tell who's actually read the scriptures, understand the scriptures, or anything else like that based off of those things. Oh man, this is a book that was just made up about these. I heard somebody say the other day about or they've always said this about you know, who wrote the scriptures, or King James. You know, they're under the impression that King James wrote the scriptures. But, King James was a homosexual and everything. I'm like, bruh, okay, so he a homosexual, but he left in there part the judgment that you're supposed to do to these homosexuals. Like, why wouldn't he just take that out? You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't he just change those things up? You know what I'm saying? The same with, they said that, they say the Freemasons wrote the scriptures and everything else like that. Well, why didn't they, you know, because they got their own doctrines, why didn't they just, like, why don't they mirror one another? You know, the scriptures from what they say is the complete opposite. In fact, when you read the scriptures, it tell you to go against those types of ideologies and those morals and things like that, man. So, hey, man, when you hear these certain things, hey, man, these are the people gonna get caught unaware, caught off guard, man. These are the ones that's walking as drunkards in the daytime, man. All right, the scriptures say, blessed is he that readeth. All right, and with all that get understanding. wisdom is the principal thing, and with all that getting, get understanding, man. Understand what it is that you're reading, man. All right, that's the way that you know, like Scripture say, wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of that time. That's what's going to keep you in these days, man. All right, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Lord. Ultimately, you know, it's the Lord that's having that protection over you. But hey, man, you know, it starts with knowing the Lord, man. All right, most people don't know the Lord. Most people, that's not my God. My God wouldn't be like that. Well, that's your God. What about the God of Israel, man? All right, the creators of the heaven and the earth. What is His will and His way? All right, it's written therefore in these scriptures, man. But most people don't want to open the book and read, man. But let's get back to this 1 Thessalonians 5:1. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail a woman with child, and they shall not escape. And you know, it's funny about this peace and safety scenario, you know, because you know we all expecting there's gonna be a time like how everything is all heated right now. You know, we all expecting a time where it's like, all right, we're gonna come to some peace talks and everything. All right, ceasefires and everything else like that. No more war for a time being, and everything else like that. We, you know, expecting those types of things happening. But also at the same time, hey man, the mindsets of a lot of these people that's out here, man, just thinking, you know, especially like the scripture say, thou that dwells carelessly. All right, you know, talking about America, man. Most of you Americans have no sense of urgency or danger that's going on around you, man. So you're just sitting here thinking that you're in a time of peace and safety and everything else like that, and everything else is going on, man. No, the biggest shakeup to you was what the pandemic, man. Now the pandemic is over. You know, you talk about Ukraine. I don't want to hear about Ukraine. Just if I don't think about it, this is gonna disappear. You know, if I don't hear about it, it's not gonna really affect me. But yet they don't understand, man. They think it's about peace and safety going on. That's over there. They ain't got nothing to do with us. But they don't realize that, hey, their nuclear destruction is drawing near every day that goes by, man. They have no idea that these things is coming. You know, it's in a sense a silent killer. But hey, this thing is screaming loud and clear to those that have the ears to hear, man. All right, to these folks, this is coming unaware because they chose to tune out, you know, first and foremost, the men of the Lord from warning them, man. All right, so hey, man, you know, I always give the example of like the weathermen, you know, spiritual weathermen. All right, you know, we just had this hurricane that passed by. You know, you have some people again that don't watch the news because all the doom and gloom. All right, and you living in your little trailer park, quote unquote, off grid from everybody else, like unplugged from social media, the news, and all these different things. You just stay in your own little trailer in the trailer park and everything else like that. Then all of a sudden the storm coming in and take your house away, man. But you being how they say cognitive dissonance, there's another term for it, but you being willingly ignorant. All right, there's a different term though, that you know, you think just because you you know, my dad used to say you got selective hearing, right? You know, you select what you want to bring in and what you don't want to bring in, man. Because you want to be in this here state of mind and everything else like that. Don't mean that the storm is not coming, man. Don't mean that you're not in the danger zone, man. Don't mean that you're not about to catch your judgment, man. So hey, man, it will be wise of you to understand what's coming, you know, before it even hits, man. So you can somewhat prepare yourself, man. And you can't physically prepare yourself for these things, but only spiritually, man. All right, and the way to spiritually prepare yourself, man, hey, you know, like the scriptures say in Revelation 14, touch not, how does it say it? It says, come not near any of the men that have the mark upon their foreheads. All right, let me just read that portion real quick. Revelation, Revelation 7, not 14. Yeah, Revelation 7:1, it says, and after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor the sea, nor the trees, nor any tree. It says, and I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power. And he cried upon a loud voice. He cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea. All right, so hey, that destruction was coming, right? It says, hurt not the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. All right. Hang on. Matter of fact, oh, I know what I wanted to read. Well, I mean, it goes to the same thing there. What is that, Ezekiel? Hang on real quick. So I mean, that's the same scenario. All right. So Ezekiel 9:4, it says, and Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark. All right, and that word mark goes into the word thawa. All right, exemption from judgment. That's the point I was trying to make. All right, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. And to the others he said in my hearing, go ye after him through the city, and smite, let not your eyes spare, neither have any pity. It says, and slay utterly old and young, both maid and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark. And he began at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. So hey, it said to come not near any of the men that have the mark. All right, that mark of exemption. All right, so hey, going into these things, man. All right, that's why again the scripture say wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of thy time, man. And that mark upon your foreheads is what? Going into that wisdom and knowledge of the Lord, man. Calling upon their names, man. The Lord's name is a strong tower, man. All right, so hey, this is where we're gonna run into, man. Calling on the Lord, having faith upon the Lord coming to deliver us in these times, man. You can't carnally save yourself out here, man. You can't physically do something to save you, man. Can't just go dig into the ground, create a bunker or something like that, man. Hey, the Lord has all that stuff found out about, man. All right, so you can't just matter of fact, no, because some of these people out here be, how you say, well, we'll get back to it, but spiritually drunk out here. This is Amos chapter 9 and verse 1. It says, and I saw the Lord standing upon the altar, and he says, smite the lintel of the door, that the posts may shake, and cut them in the head, all of them, and I will slay the last of them with the sword. He that fleeth of them shall not flee away, he that escapeth shall not be delivered. All right, so there ain't no running from this bad boy, man. And when judgment go forth, hey, man, it's like that final destination, man. All right, you think you didn't escape judgment, but really that wasn't your way of dying. That's what they call a so-called near-death experience, which it really ain't no such thing as a near-death experience, man. You gonna get the Most High's, how you say, 100% accuracy, man. All right, you thought that you was about to die in this here scenario, but hey, that wasn't your time. I seen something the other day that was talking about Michael Jackson. It said that he was supposed to have a meeting inside the World Trade Center the day that the attacks happened, but he stayed up on the phone the night before with his mother and overslept the next day. And then I was reading the comment section, it was like, oh shit, Michael Jackson was dodging death for a while, like Final Destination. I'm like, nah, that just wasn't his time to go, man. His time to go. He died exactly the time that he was supposed to die, how he was supposed to die at that point in time and moment, man. All right, nobody gonna just pop up in the spiritual realm and throw the Most High off, like, what the fuck you doing here early? Or why you so late coming over here, man? Oh, I've been trying to catch you. I've been looking for you to catch up with you for a long time, man. Nah, man, you pop up right when the Lord require your spirit before his throne is the time he receive your ass back up before his throne, man. All right. Oh, right. All right. Anyway, Amos 9 and 2, it says, and though they dig into hell, thence shall my hand take them. Though they climb up into heaven, thence will I bring them down. And though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and shall bite them. So, hey, man, there's no carnal way of escaping this here judgment, man. There's no carnal way of trying to get up out of these here things, man. Matter of fact, let me find this real quick, because I just was mentioning that Final Destination, right? There's I call this the Final Destination scripture. Amos 5 and let me start at verse 18. The point is let me just Amos 5 and 18, it says, woe to you that desire the day of the Lord, to what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light, and no light in it. Salat. And not light. All right, so hey, you know, this is going into like all these folks that, you know, like your grandmama and them say, I can't wait till the Lord return. I can't wait till the Lord come back. I can't wait for this and I can't wait for that. Now, granted, that's what we say, but we understand what's going on, man. And we, you know, we hope to be saved from out of this destruction. Whereas, you know, when your grandmama and them be talking about it, you know, they think that, you know, going into like a lot of the philosophies and the doctrines they've been taught about things like the pre-tribulation rapture. They believe that, hey, before things get bad out here, they're gonna just get, you know, taken up into heaven and everything else like that, man. All right, so they think that, hey, you know, like the scripture say, woe to you that desire the day of the Lord, to what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. They think that it's a day of light. Oh, we're gonna have flowers and God gonna be singing, everything gonna be nice, and you know, when before trouble comes, we gonna just get taken up into heaven and everything gonna be good. This is the sentiment that they have in these churches, because if they didn't, they would be getting right. They would be repenting. They wouldn't be all with the hoopla. You know, you think about all these different things. How do they have like the pastor sleeping with all the women in the church and everything? Do they not take this here stuff serious? Do they not know about the Lord and his judgment? You know, they just over here lollygagging around, man. They don't understand these things. They don't understand that, hey, look, man, you playing with, you know, how they say you playing with fire, man. You playing with actual, literal nuclear fire, man. All right, you catch that judgment of the Lord, hey, man, it's going to be a horrible death, man. But yet and still you have people that's in these harlot houses, all right, playing with these charlatans and everything else like that, man. Hey, they taking it very lightly. All right, but then you have to understand, man, hey, these people, they don't really understand what's really going on, man. So at the same time, you know, like your grandma and them, oh, I can't wait for the Lord to come back, can't wait for the Lord. But then you break down these certain things, hey, man, the Lord's going to come back in the midst of World War III, man, with them chariots, man, zapping and how does Scripture say, separating the wheat from the tares, man. You know, I think about that movie War of the Worlds. All right, you know, when those tripods was coming down, they was separating the wheat from the tares, man. All right, they was zapping some folks and obliterating their ass on while they was standing on their feet, man. And then the other ones, they was sucking up inside of those damn tripods, man. All right, and that's how it's gonna be, man. When the Lord returned with his chariots, man. All right, some people gonna be getting zapped, you know, upon an instance of a innumerable multitude. There was nothing to be perceived but dust and the smell of smoke, as the scriptures say. Hey, man, they was obliterated, man. And then at the same time, hey, man, some of them people gonna be getting beamed up, come up hither, all right, to the Lord's elect, man. So you're gonna have these things going on both sides, man. But you have to understand that, hey, look, this is the day of the Lord, man. All right, this is what is entailed when they talk about the day of the Lord. But again, your grandmama and them, they're not telling her your grandmama this stuff in church, man. She's looking for, you know, a lovely day where the Lord gonna come back, you know what I'm saying, and it's gonna be having flowers. Hey, the Lord say, think not that I've come to send peace on the earth, but I came to send a sword, man. All right, hey, I didn't come to make everything so-called better for you guys. I came to turn up the fire on you guys out here, man. Now, overall, the Lord gonna make things better for us when we get to the kingdom of heaven. But first, that judgment gotta go forth first, man. All right, you know what I'm saying? You know, when you go to the gym, you know, people have it in their mind, I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna go work out, I'm gonna get buff and everything else like that. You just think about the end product. Hey, man, I'm gonna be looking all good, my physique gonna be good and everything else like that. Hey, but before you can get to that place, all right, you gotta start ripping and cutting your muscles, you know, working out, be all sore and everything. Hey, the first day you ever go into the gym, or the first day that you go out, you know, you run for the first time, about to start jogging and everything. The first day you go and do that, you be tired, you wake up the next morning all sore and everything else like that, man. That's a painful process, man. All right, but then, you know, you look at the end goal of somebody that's been bodybuilding and, you know, all these different things, like, damn, man, your physique all looking nice and everything. Hey, but it was a painful process to get there, man. You know, and most people don't have that mindset in their mind of that work and that progress that they have to go through, man. All right. Amos 5 and 18 again. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into a house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him. So, hey, man, you know, twofold. The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. All right, as if, how's it say, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him. Now, think about the compare and contrast to that, man. Your grandmama and them believe, oh, when the Lord come, I can't wait to see sweet Jesus. Everything, they just say that with such a smile and everything else like that. Now, granted, you know, we desire to see Yahweh's return. You know what I'm saying? Lord, will we be a part of the elect? You know, that's going to be a good thing to see, man. But we know we got to go through the darkness before we see the light. All right, but see, your grandmama and them talking about, oh, I can't wait for sweet Jesus to come back. Hey, it says it's going to be a day of darkness and not light, man, as if he fled from a lion and a bear met him, meaning it's not going to be no, you know, flowers and everything else like that going on, man. Hey, man, it's going to be some hard times, man. You going to be, thank God that it showed up, man. You know what I'm saying? Thank God, you know, like you think about certain things, like, let's say you out in the middle of the ocean and you're at your boat sinking and you out there drowning and you just splashing around. And as you keep going underwater, you're getting tired. You can't fight to swim no more. All of a sudden, there's a jet ski or a boat roll up on your ass. As thankful as you'll be to see that damn boat pull up is how you're going to be thinking of the Lord. But think about the conditions that you in now. Now, you out there in a regular boat in the water, just sitting there chilling, posted up, enjoying the waves on a calm day. And you see another boat roll up on you. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know, that's the equivalent of how these so-called Christians believe, man. Everything going to be cool out here. I'm going to be just chilling. And all of a sudden, there's going to be a yacht that's going to pull up. And I'm going to go from my little fishing boat to the yacht. Everything gonna be peaceful versus somebody that's out there actually drowning. All right, we understand we're gonna be in a scenario where things is gonna be bad, man. All right, we'll go back to it in Matthew 24, that great tribulation, such as was on the beginning of the earth to the same time. And except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh saved, but for the elect's sake, those days should be shortened. All right, so hey, we're gonna be in that type of scenario, man. In the middle of all these different things, and that's when the Lord's gonna deliver us. We're gonna be happy to see the Lord at that point in time, man. All right, we already excited to see the Lord coming back now because the hell that we in now, but guess what? These days are getting worse and worse as we go on forward, man. All right, you know what I'm saying? You might be going through times where you hadn't eaten for a while, All right, you got all these people that's constantly running through your, like the scripture say, constantly running through your house for the lack of bread. And you don't know if this is gonna be. Oh man, I can't. Man, I hate every time it get dark outside, man. It's crazy out there, man. Like the Forever Purge, all right, or the Purge movies, man. Look, I can't wait till this here time pass over us so that we can get back to this year. This is the scariest time of the year, and this is you're gonna be looking forward for those times to be over with, man. And these are the times that we're coming into right about now, man. All right, you know those people over in the Ukraine and stuff like that. Guaranteeing you, they were like, man, I can't wait for this here conflict to be over. Just like, let's get back to some normalcy, man, because this here is a bad time, man. Guaranteeing they wishing for some salvation right about now. But hey, it's about to get way worse over there, man. All right, it's not gonna get any better. But hey, these are the times that, like I said, man. You know, you talk about the day of the Lord is darkness and no light in it, man. All right, you know, hey, this is what you got to be saved from, delivered up out of, man. These troubling times, man. Not from just, oh, we just living it up. Like, you know, again, like I said, these Christians believe, like, let's say tomorrow all hell is supposed to break loose. They think that they should supposed to just be, you know, on a regular Saturday, going shopping with the kids at the picnic or whatever. This their last day on earth, and then all of a sudden the Lord gonna just beam them up and rapture them the day before the shit hit the fan tomorrow, man. Oh, we was just out shopping at the picnic yesterday and everything else like that. Then all of a sudden the Lord came and got us. No tribulations, and then boom. The rest of the people, how they have the TV shows, the Left Behind, the people that was left behind, they had to see all the trials and tribulations and the plagues. No, man, you're going to be right here in the midst of all these things, man. And how much more would the Lord want you in that position there to where you're how do I say, you're, for lack of a better term, you're craving the Lord, man. Hey, Lord, we really need you right now, man. We really, really need you to come save us and deliver us from these things that's coming on. Because, bro, it's horrible out here, man. Hey, hell, think about the times that we're living in right now in the United States versus what life was like in the year 2000, man. All right, you know, you see, like, man, you know, like the scriptures say, set a mark on the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof, and vexed Lot, you know what I'm saying, with the filthy conversation of the wicked. Think about that, man. All right, in the year 2000, you didn't have to worry about the shit that was going on with your kids at school, man. The stuff that you finding out about in the food right about now, man. The things that they over here pushing forth. They had, what was it, Tulsi Gabbard or whatever it was. She was in her little meeting talking, and then a couple cats got up and like, look, bro, you about to get us all in a nuclear war and everything else going on. They were screaming down on her like that, man. They didn't have people running up on, well, not running up on, they was inside of a meeting, but standing up, screaming about nuclear war going on and pleading with them like, oh, look, bro, we not with this shit no more, man. Y'all trying to get us in a nuclear war. These types of things wasn't happening before at this point in time, at this here scale, man. All right, all kind of wickedness is how do I say, escalating or flourishing on the earth right about now, man. Where the whole world is crying out, the sea, the air, the animals, the people. All right, the whole earth is crying out for salvation right about now, man. All right, but yet and still, things have to get worse and worse and worse from this. But let me finish this off real quick, and we'll get back to that portion. I want to read this Final Destination situation first, but it says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light, as if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went to the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even dark and no brightness in it? All right, so hey, going into that, the day of the Lord being darkness and not light, man. All right, you're gonna be like it says, as he did flee from a lion, and the bear met him, or went to a house and leaned his hand on a wall, and a serpent bit him. All right, so hey, that's that Final Destination situation, man. You thought you escaped one hell, you know what I'm saying, and you ran into another pit, and you escaped that pit, and then you fell into another trap, man. All right, but look, when you think about it, like I said, you know, there ain't no such thing as you know how you look at the movie Final Destination, you escape death or near-death experiences and things like that. So in this here scenario with this here guy, the thing that happened to him, all right, let's go back. It says, as if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went to a house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. All right, hey, so look, really, he was gonna die from the serpent bite anyway. All right, that's what was gonna kill him. All right, but look, he was just, the Most High was just, you know, plaguing and torturing his ass mentally beforehand. I'm about to scare this nigga with this lion first. He about to shit bricks, man. Look at this nigga running. Boom. He thought he got away. Oh God, thank God I didn't got away from this goddamn lion. And then all of a sudden it's a bear ripping through the damn wall trying to get you, and you start running the other way, man. Then you find, man, I done shook that lion, I done shook that bear, and you stuck your hand up on the wall and got bit by a goddamn serpent just to get away, just for that to happen to you, man. All right, now you done seen plenty of people. You know, damn, it was a couple, can't think of none of these channels no more, but it was a couple of different websites and things where you could see people like so-called escape death just to get killed a whole nother type of way, man. You know, like, damn, this nigga didn't escape this, escape that, escape this just to get hit with this shit, and then now they dead, man. All right, you had people in the World Trade Center, they had some certain stories about shit like this, where people that was like actually up in the towers went through the whole collapse of the damn building, you know what I'm saying, and survived the collapse of the building, you know what I'm saying, survived, like, not to say they was in a plane crash, but survived the initial blast of the plane hitting the building, survived the collapse of the building, just to like get out and, let's just say, the next day or some shit, get hit by a car or something like that and die, or something like that that didn't happen. I'm like, damn, bro, how you escape that just to die this way? But hey, man, the Lord is very precise, man. You just get shook up and the Lord will plague your ass with some of these things, man. Quote unquote near-death experiences and things like that, man. So hey, man, you know, that's the Lord sometimes showing you a little mercy, man. Hey, man, let me get my life together. Hey, and those should be wake up points in your life, man. Wake your ass up, man. Let me stop fucking around with this here life I'm living and stuff. Hey, this shit too short. Most people change their lives after certain things like that. But hey, and this here point in time, man, the point I wanted to grab with this here was that, hey, man, you know, you tell your grandmama about peaceful transition between hearing the Lord rapturing you up to the point to where, nah, it's not gonna be like that, man. It's gonna be at the point in time where things is gonna be bad out here, man. All right, and it's gonna be going back to that Matthew 24. I'll quote it again. There's gonna be a time of tribulation like there was never since there was a nation even into the same time. All right, but hey, look, the Lord is gonna deliver His elect up out of there, man. All right, so let's go back to this. We're at that Amos. Going back to 1 Thessalonians 5, and we start at 1 again. It says, but at the times and the seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord still cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So again, going back into that, man, hey, most people think of that scenario, you know, when you go to them churches and things like that, they got two different scenarios like that. They're like, oh, I would know about this, God would tell me about that. Matter of fact, like I said, my uncle was speaking on those types of things, like, oh, I think God would have told me about this, or I would have read about that. I love the Bible and everything else like that. I would have known about this. Where does it say America in the Bible? I'm like, see, you ain't got the eyesight to see these things, man. The scripture say, bless your eyes for see the things that you see and hear the things that you hear. For many kings and princes desire to hear the things that you hear and see the things that you see and have not heard them, right? But hey, man, and these people, they don't understand these. They don't understand prophecies, man. They don't understand. They don't have the eyesight to be able to break these things down. So hey, they're gonna be blinded. They're gonna get caught off guard, man. You know what I'm saying? They think about peace and safety. Everything is all good. I'm living my best life right now. Hey, man, you should just go live your life right now. This is the best time to be doing this and that. We ain't never had this type of money, but hey, the government cutting all these checks, man. This is the time right now, man. Hey, that's that what they call bread and circus, man. Those are those distractions right now to get you caught off guard right now with all these different things, man. Yeah, we live in a of wickedness. It's the best time to be alive for straight wickedness, man. All right, you walk around in the grocery store, the downtown area. It's like going into a goddamn strip club, man. You know what I'm saying? And you see all kind of body parts just hanging all out, man. They got social media sites or apps and stuff like that. You can just swipe. It's like an ordering menu, man. You can just, who you trying to hook up with tonight, man? Just let me order me a bad bitch to swipe on this bitch tonight, man. You know what I'm saying? Slaughter a couple shekels or whatever. Hey, these bitches might do it for the free. You know what I'm saying? Let me just go on over here and do such on and so forth, man. Let me just sign up for this here little PPP scam. Let me sign up for this here getaway money or whatever. Finesse these folks. Go do this and go do that. Pull this here. You know, let me go say I'm homeless or unemployed and go collect money for all. Hey, it'll be wickedness. This is the time to thrive right about now, man. Well, why? You got all these distractions that's right here trying to keep you from, like I said, bread and the circuses to keep you away. It's social media, man. All right? You know, I was speaking on this, I believe, last week, but I was speaking to somebody about this. Like, look, man, social media is the new drugs, man. You know, they did with the crack and they put it in our neighborhoods back beforehand. You know, this was before that, you know what I'm saying? You had the heroin that was in our neighborhoods, man. Was it the 70s and stuff like that? The era of the heroin babies and everything. Everybody was out there on heroin, man. All right, then the next generation, the 80s, right? Them 80 crack babies, right? You know what I'm saying? All of our parents was pretty much on crack and everything else like that, man. All right, then you had the next generation of babies where, you know what I'm saying, I don't know exactly what they was on, what might have been just weed. But now I would say this generation now is the generation, well, you might could just say weed. This new generation now is like everybody on weed, edibles, the weed pens, the all kind of crazy shit, man. I be seeing commercials on YouTube, free legal weed. All states is all legal. This is some good shit now too, man. You got Edomites, you know, like promoting this shit. They're like, God damn, this shit crazy, man. Where we at right about now? But look, think about it, man. All those things that they, from the heroin era, the crack era, to the weed era, to this new weed era that we in now. What did all those drugs do to our people, man? You know, when Jake used to go get high, what Jake wanted to go do? We're gonna go get high. We're gonna turn up. We're gonna party. Same with alcohol. We're gonna go get high. We're gonna turn up. We're gonna party. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna turn the radio on. We're gonna be jamming. Or we're gonna just get high and sit on the porch, man, and just swat mosquitoes and flies and shit, turning up and just getting high on the front porch. Niggas on the porch, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what Jake do when we get high, right? But what is Jake not doing? Jake not being productive, all right? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I done seen a couple different videos of people talking about, weed is holding you back and things like that. Like, some of y'all problems is just smoking weed and everything. And you read all the comment sections, oh, I'm productive, I do this, I do that, this and that. But look, bro, you'll be 1,000 times more productive if you just wasn't smoking weed. Like, just the act of the matter alone is the fact that you got to sit down and take time out of your day just to consume the weed itself, man. That's time that you would be doing something else, man, because you could replace this argument with anything else, man. Playing the damn video game, playing PlayStation, playing sports, basketball, going to the gym, doing all these different things like that. Like, look, bro, just the time it take alone for you to commit whatever act it is that you're doing. If you wasn't doing that, you would have more time to be more productive. All right, yeah, you could be going to the gym every day, all right, and then going also to work and being productive that way. But look, if you cut out the gym, you would have, let's say you spend 2 hours at the gym. You got 2 more hours of production time, man. So the same way with people that be smoking, because, you know, like I said, what Jake wanted to go and do, go get high and chill and relax, man. All right, but look, going back to that with the social media and making a comparison, all right, you know, Jake will sit there and go get high and just be sitting there all fucking day, right? You be on social media nowadays, man. I'm about to go in there and take a shit real quick and be scrolling on Instagram or some shit for hours and hours and hours on end, man. Legs numbed in the motherfucker, bro. Just be on there, just scrolling. Look at this bitch, look at this bitch, look at this bitch. Endless cycle of these things, man. Now is the perfect time to be alive for wickedness, man. All right, but look, like I said, all these things is not more than distractions, man. All right, the new drug war is what? Social media, man. All right, you got women chasing fantasies on this here thing, men chasing fantasies on these things, man. Endless schemes and scams going on. Hey, but what are you not actually doing? You're not actually building yourself up. And to give you a prime example, man, you know, with YouTube could be used the same way, man. You can be on YouTube watching all kind of shit, man, because I know I'm out down folly time. I be watching YouTube like that, man. You know what I'm saying? But then you have to, you know, balance yourself out, man. And I can spend hours on end watching Hellcat videos, you know, car racing videos and shit like that. You know, that's my folly time. Or car accident videos, instant karma videos, or people are amazing videos, things like that, man. You know what I'm saying? You see some of these people do some of this crazy shit, but, you know, you just sit there and watch because, man, type in the people are amazing videos. There's like 100,000 different episodes of that shit, man. Just different people doing different shit. You just sit there and watch that shit all day long, bro. Like, man, I got to turn this here shit off, man. All right, I got to go and find something else to watch. You know, even like at work, man. Sometimes I'll be at work, I have my headphones on and everything else like that. I'd like either be listening to music or I'll listen to, you know, the actual brothers' videos, you know what I'm saying? Because with either of those two, you don't have to sit there and watch the screen. But anything else than that, you know what I'm saying? I know I'll be on, like, sometimes on lunch break. So I try not to even take a lunch break no more. I just try to get my shit done, right? But I'll be sitting there watching some shit, and then I'll be watching some shit. 10 minutes go by, 20 minutes go by, 40 minutes go by, an hour go by. I'm like, man, this is a whole other hour. I just sat here at work, watched some goddamn YouTube, and I could have just been up out of here, man. But like I said, man, this is like the new drug, that new, you know, keep you occupied, man. The bread and circuses, man. You're going to get caught like a thief in the night because look, you over here watching this here stuff instead of watching something edifying, man. You spent that same amount of time that you're using on Instagram, Twitter, all these different things, and reading the scriptures, watching videos and things. Think about where you would be at, man. Watching the news, seeing the things that's going on, reading articles. Hey, most people are like, yo, I don't read, I don't like to read. But the time that you sitting there reading, what is it, Instagram or Twitter, the time you sitting there reading all these people different posts on Twitter and shit like that, you could have been and read some scriptures right now, man. You could have read a whole goddamn book at the same. You read the same amount of characters, man. But see, because this is so-called entertaining unto you, this is just a bunch of folly at that too, man. That you just reading into these things. But hey, if you was to spend that same amount of time reading the scriptures, you'd be that much more edified, man. But yet our people want to be distracted with these other things. As the scriptures say, hey, speak not unto us, or prophesy unto us smooth things, prophesy deceit. All right, they don't want to hear the truth, man. They want to hear, hey, the smooth things, the entertaining things, man. All right, but hey, this is why they're gonna get caught like a thief in the night, man. They're unaware of all these different things. And again, going back to the times of social media, it's like the new drug era, man. Because again, you're not being productive. You just sitting there, like I said, Jake just want to sit on the porch and go get high all goddamn day, drink all damn day, listen to some music all day. Now what people doing? Sitting on the couch, got the headphones in, listening to some music, scrolling on Instagram all damn day, looking at bitches twerking and shit all damn day long, man. You got the same effect, man. Oh, I don't be doing no drugs and nothing like that. I don't be drinking and nothing like. But you sitting right there at the same amount of time, not being productive, just like the nigga that's over there doing the same shit, man. And all this here time, prophecy is taking place around you. But guess what? You ain't gonna see these things, man. All right, going back, 1 Thessalonians 5 and 4. But ye brethren are not in darkness, that the day should overtake you as a thief. All right, going back into, hey, man, we know what time that we're in, man. All right, we're not going to get overtaken. We know it's high time. Well, let's keep reading. You're all the children of light and the children of the day. We're not of the night or darkness. Let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. All right, so, hey, let me read the next verse. For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. Not talking about actually falling asleep or being drunk, but that's using a metaphor because, hey, when you sleep, you know what I'm saying, like you see like little kids, right? Little kids, you be like, you sleepy? They be like, nah, I ain't sleepy, all nodding their head. Why those little kids don't want to go to sleep? Because they fear that they're going to miss out on something. It's nap time for them. They feel like if I close my eyes and go to sleep, I'm going to miss out on what y'all doing. You know what I'm saying? So that's the metaphor right there. Like, look, you actually out here sleep. You know how they say stay woke? You know what I'm saying? They didn't hijack that scenario, but hey, we woke to this truth of the things that's going on. We're attentive to all these different things. We're not missing the beat because we can see all these things. When you sleep, bro, you on a road trip somewhere, and you in the back seat and you go to sleep. Now you going through a state that you ain't never been through, and you start seeing some shit you ain't never seen before. But now you sleep, like, bro, you missed it. While you was asleep, bro, we went over this big ass bridge. There was this car accident. We seen this happen, that happen, and everything. Oh man, why y'all ain't wake me up, bro? You asleep, bro. You missed all that shit, man. That's how a lot of people out here are like they say the Walking Dead. Are the same thing today. They're not alive to this thing. They're not quick to this here thing. So the same thing with being asleep. They the sleepwalkers, more or less to say, man. All right, they awake and they walking around, moving around, but they asleep to the things that's going on, man. Like I gave you the example of my uncle that said he don't watch the news, didn't know there was a hurricane coming into play. All right, but hey, man, you don't want to be somebody. I heard somebody the other day that was talking about that. It was like somebody had a friend who I was in matter of fact, where was I at? Regardless of where I was, I think I was probably in the little pizza spot getting some pizza. This was like the day after the hurricane, right? Or the day after the hurricane, right? And dude was in there in line, and it's a long ass line. They had to close the store early, but anyway, dude was in line like, yeah, I feel bad for my friend. He came to visit and everything else like that. Didn't know that there was a storm coming and everything. And so the whole time, right before the storm came, he spent all his time with us, helping the neighbors put up boards on the window and everything else like that. He never got to go nowhere. Like, this nigga went on vacation. He flew into the belly of the storm, man. Flew all the way out here just to be in the middle of this goddamn hurricane, just to fly back home right after the hurricane. You done wasted your damn vacation, man. All right, but that's somebody that's caught unaware, man. All right, they out here sleepwalking out here, man. But somebody who would have been awake would be like, look, you know what? Before we go out here, to our vacation in Florida, let us check what the weather gonna be like before we go out there, man. That's something that my dad taught us as kids, man. Before y'all go wherever y'all gonna go, you know what I'm saying? Hey, check the weather where you gonna be at, because shit, we came from Florida, going up to New York one time, and Florida weather is damn near hot all the way around. You know what I'm saying? And we brought shorts, light clothes, no jackets. We get up there, we the only retards looking like caught unaware, man. Everybody else is bundled up with their coats, and we just shivering and shit. Like, where's y'all coats at? Like, hey, we ain't know no better, man. We got caught slipping without our oil that time, man. All right, hey, but you don't want to be like that in these here times, man. All right, you don't want to be caught off guard out here in these last times, because that's going to be a matter of life or death, man. You're going to think that it's going to be safe to go out here, especially when there's going to be a lack of food, or a lack of resources. You don't want to go spend your last little bit of dollars going to go get you some 26s. Shit, I'm about to put some 26s on the lack out here, cuz. Let me go ahead and get some 26s. Then, next thing you know, you can't even afford no goddamn rice, man. Oh, man, you can't eat the 26s now, can you? All right? You don't want to be caught off guard with these different things. You don't want to be flying. Hey, you got them trying to tell folks not to fly into Russia, flying into certain countries and things like that, man. Hey, man, think about it that way, too. You want to fly into Puerto Rico when they ain't had no power out there just recently. Like, you fly in over there, and you realize, again, on vacation, man, ain't no power out here. Everything all tore up out here. What the hell we spend our money coming in over here for, man? But these are those so-called smart, dumb niggas, man. The so-called, quote-unquote, woke people. Hey, I don't want to hear about all that negativity. I'm going to just manifest, what they say, manifest, whatever they want to manifest. They think these things through. Like, all right, man, you do whatever you want to go and do, man. But, you're not really changing any of these things that's coming to pass, man. The Lord's judgment is still going to stand, man. All right? It's not going nowhere. All right? So let's go back now. I quoted this like 5 times, but we're going to read it all the way through because I'm going to go back into where else I wanted to grab. All right? This is Matthew 24. Well, let me read this first, and then I'm going to go back to that. Matthew 24 and 32, it says, now learn the parable of a fig tree. When the branch is yet tender and it putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh. So likewise, when you shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the door. All right, so hey, going into this here, situation, man. We see all the signs that's coming to pass, man. All right, we see all these things that's part of our measuring apparatus to be able to see, hey man, hey, the prophecies are getting closer and closer and closer as we speak, man. All right, we're getting to a point in time. Let me go ahead and read that now. Matthew 24 and 21 and 22. The point is 22. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no nor ever shall be. And again, we have these things that's coming up, that's unprecedented, man. Setting how they say, record-breaking temperatures in certain places, record-breaking storms in certain places, record-breaking droughts in certain places, man. You have all these so-called natural events that's taking place. That's a record-breaking, or for the first time these things that didn't happen since recorded history, all right, or nothing has happened on this type of scale. Now, you have certain things that's like, is not as bad as, certain things that happened in the past, but now because of the type of infrastructure that we living in, it makes it that much more worse, man. All right, so you could have like a scenario, let's say hypothetically, back in the olden days, things was built up like how out of Nevada, right? A lot of Nevada is like desert area. There's nothing really built out there, man. But then now all of a sudden we're living in a more condensed area. We got all these high-rise buildings and everything else like that, man. Comparably to, again, like the desert area. Hey, man, an earthquake in the damn desert ain't gonna really do too much damage. But then you got an earthquake in somewhere like, let's say, Times Square with all these high-rise buildings and everything else like that, man. That's gonna be even more devastating, man. All right, you have a power outage, just like or a storm that's in certain places where it's not too many people at, and that ain't that bad. But now we have everybody crammed in, and this make things that much more worse. So like, yeah, they had a hurricane that was that much more dangerous or bigger, or floods that happened back in them days. Yeah, but we wasn't as built up as how we are nowadays, man. So now it's a lot more devastating now, you know what I'm saying, because of all these damn buildings where things is at, man. All right, all this here flooding to this downtown area, man. Oh, it's 1,000 times worse now, out where it's at, man. All right, but hey, you have these different scenarios that's how do I say, breaking records, or how do I put it, coming in a more devastating effect, for lack of better terms. These things are pretty much breaking records and things like that, man. All right, so these things are all speaking forth. And again, on the war fronts, all right, you have all these different things that's going on the war front. Hey, man, like I said, when the last time you heard about people that was arguing about nuclear warfare, man? Hey, hopefully they don't use nukes. What if they use nukes? What's going on with nukes and nukes? Hey, me in my whole lifetime, well, I don't quite remember, because I wasn't, old enough to even be thinking about no shit like that. But hey, there ain't never been a time in my lifetime, like I said, that I can remember, you know what I'm saying, because there was a point in time, early off in the early 90s, but there's not a point to, and again, like I said, I was too young to even be thinking about politics or anything else like that. But anyway, but there ain't never really been a time in my lifetime where there was so-called nuke talk. All right, you had the Cuban Missile Crisis, right? You had the Cold War, which going up into, or the Cuban Missile Crisis was actually before I was born, but then it runs all the way up until what you have like the Cold War, right? That's running up into the end of the USSR, right? The negotiations with all that. That's what pretty much ended all that. Ultimately ended the Cuban Missile Crisis, right? But you had the Bay of Pigs and all that extra stuff. But anyway, at that point in time, man, hey man, that was beforehand, and our parents and stuff like that, they had nuclear drills and things like that at the fallout of the end of World War II, all right, from 45, 48, somewhere like that, so then you had in the decade of the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, all right, they was talking about, again, going back into the Cuban Missile Crisis and things like that, talking about those things. But then when things at the very heightened point of it all, at the end of the downfall of the USSR, all right, hey man, that was the last time they had talks of nukes, man, because the other nuclear power was ceasing to exist. All right, so hey, and they was turning them docile. So hey, you never really had no conflict between nuclear nations like that, man. You had wars that was going on with nations that had nukes, but they wasn't talking or threatening nukes, man. Now look at what you have going on right now, which a lot of these things, not to say it's propaganda, and because we know about the scriptures, man. We understand these things that's actually coming to pass, man. All right, so hey, we know, like we just read about, roughly paraphrasing, saying, measuring the time diligently, looking at the trees, in that summer is not scenario. Hey, we can see that they talking about these nukes, so we know that this is what's coming up on the agenda to be used, because the scriptures talk about it. But as far as Russia using nukes in Ukraine, like, man, that's kind of a dumb decision. Now they can use tactical nukes in Ukraine, but that'd be a dumb decision. It's going, obviously, America's trying to force them to go into World War III. We already know what the game plan is. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's not really like, let's just say America decided they want to nuke Mexico over the border of Texas, like right there on the Texas-Mexico border. Like, well, we're going to fuck up a lot of America doing that. That's not very smart to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Why would we do that? That's just kind of stupid. But anyway, this is what they talking about, you know, and they talking about how Russia was talking about using nukes over there. Like, nah, Russia was talking about using nukes on America, not Ukraine. You know what I'm saying? They don't even really want to be fighting them niggas like that, because that's they people. They would just be killing their own people. But anyway, you know, this is a lot of talk that's in the news right now. So, hey, what's the spirit right now? All right, Lord's will, give me 1 second. Let me grab this here precept. This is Jeremiah. Jeremiah 50 and verse 22. It says, the sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. All right, so this is the sound that's going on in this here place, man. This is the things that you have going on. Matter of fact, let me read this. I should have read this first. Let me go back to that Matthew 24. All right, Matthew 24 and 6. Well, let me start at 3. All right. Kind of jumped the gun, but reading about, you know, summertime. We'll just breeze over it real quick. Matthew 24 and 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came up to him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? Let me jump over to verse 32. It says, let me jump down to verse 36 first. It says, but of the day and the hour knoweth no man, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. Let's jump up to verse 32. Now learn the parable of the fig tree. When its branch is yet tender, and putteth forth leaves, you know that summer is nigh. So likewise, when you shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the door. So we can measure the times diligently based off of the things that we see going on around us. Damn it, I shouldn't have dropped that. Hang on, let me go back. It's based off of the things that's going on around us. Now, some of the signs, let's go to verse 6. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Matter of fact, I'll read this and now I'm going to jump. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence in diverse places. Pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places, and all these are the beginning of sorrows. Matter of fact, let me read that in the book of Luke 21 and 25. All right. Luke 21:25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, and the seas and the waves roaring. So, hey, these are the things that you have going on right about now, man. All right, you have all these different things that's taking place on the earth. Hang on. Let me read this as well, too. All right, we still got that Luke. All right, Luke 21 and 25. It says, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, and the seas and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear, and looking after those things, which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Right? So now let's go over to, we'll touch back on that here in a second. Second Esdras 9. Let me just read it from the top. Second Esdras 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I told thee before, then thou shalt understand it's the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. All right, so hey, we're going to know by measuring the time diligently based off of things that the Lord gave us as these measuring sticks. So we just read about how no man knows the day or the hour. But look at these signs so you'll know the season that you're in. Right now, what season are we in? We're in the season of the end. All right, we're at the season of this here movie coming to a close, man. We're at the end of, Esau's the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. Well, how is Esau taken out of power? Well, Esau's taken out of power in the midst of what? The greatest conflict that the world has ever seen. All right, and in the midst of that, their conflict, a global world conflict, all right, the chariots are going to show up, in which they exposing the chariots nowadays, man. All right, the Lord created the wasted to destroy. All these weapons are being assembled right now as we speak, man. The weaker nations saying that they're strong. All right, America's allies are starting to turn on them. So looking at the seasons that we're in right now, hey, we're in a season for all these things are lining up. So everything is almost pretty much a go. All right, it's not like you got mostly this part, that part, this part all together. But let's just say you're trying to build, let's say, build a house or decorate a house or something like that, right? And you got to order all the pieces and the parts, from the roof truss to the interior framing to the electrical to the plumbing and everything else like that. Just like, well, we got the paint for the house, right? And we got all the paint to paint the rooms, the inside and the outside of the house, but we don't have and we got the shingles. We got the paint and we got the shingles, but we don't have the roof truss, right? We don't have the drywall set up. We ain't got none of the electrical ran. We ain't got none of the plumbing ran. So what the hell good is the paint right now if we ain't even got the interior or the exterior of the house built, man? All right, that's a completely different story to saying, look, we got all the plumbing done, we got all the electrical ran, the foundation is ran, the roof truss is put on, the roof is put together. Now we can just go ahead. Hey, everything is a go from right now, man. We got all the supplies to finish the job off, all the people here. Everything is ready to go. Everything is set up. So now we know, hey, this is time for them to go ahead and finish this house off, man. Now they got everything all hooked up. Now it's time to go ahead and turn on the power in the house and everything else like that, man. So it's almost go time, man. All right, and we see these same things happening right about now, man. We're at a time now, like, where all these prophecies can be fulfilled, man. All the correct ingredients to how do I say, for all these things to come together are right here and readily available, man. All right, the MOTB. All right, not only is the technology here, but a reason to use all this here technology, man. All right, that great temptation is coming upon the whole earth. It's a global economic collapse that's on our hands right about now, man. Famines and pestilence are on the earth, man. And guess what? The MOTB can solve both of those problems. From Esau's perspective, hey, man, y'all need some credits. We can give y'all what they call universal basic income. We'll deposit the money into y'all accounts. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, here you go. Here go the money for you right here. Boom, we're going to but you need somewhere where we can deposit it. It'll be safe, secure, fast transfer, and everything, man. Take the MOTB, man. You're not going to be able to buy or sell without it anyway. Might as well go ahead and take it, man. And we can go ahead and give you that how they, we deem it the blue check marks, you've been verified, your verification mark, man. Go ahead and make sure that you got this here verification mark. We got to be able to make sure you get a little blue check mark on your validation passports, man. All right, so hey, when you go into these things, this is a time and a place for us to be able to implement this here new world order, man. Our Esau's final agenda, man. So hey, all the prophecies are lining up for these things to take place, man. All right. Going back, it says, verse 3, 2 Ezra 9:3. It says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then thou shalt understand that the Most High spake of those things that was from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. All right, and so, hey, with these uproars of the people in the world, all right, distress upon nations with perplexity, man. All right, you have the scenario like with the OPEC nations. All right, now, with Saudi Arabia and America supplies Saudi Arabia with military equipment. That's pretty much a proxy military for America. It's like for America, man. All right, they military really ain't much of nothing without, it's like the Israeli military, man. All right, without America supplying them with all their arms, it's not really a formidable foe or nothing like that, man. So, they need those missile defense systems over there and everything else like that, so their enemies don't come over there and be bombarding them with rockets, bombs, and everything else like that, man. All right, and to keep them up in the float, man. And as long as America has, basically the petrodollar, not just the petrodollar, but that whole, petro hegemony over them, all right, that keeps Saudi Arabia in a good position. But guess what? Now they're carving out their own way, man. All right, while the heathens rage and imagine a vain thing, all right, hey, let us set up a system without America, man. Let us set up these things where we don't even need them no more, man. So, hey, this is what they're doing. They like, look, man, we'll just stop we'll tone down the supply of natural gas or oil over there, man. All right, we'll just slow these things down, man. Oh, they want to talk all this here bullshit. They had it on the news the other day. Forgot, was it the son? It wasn't the father, the king, but I think it was one of the sons or something like that, or somebody in the their little cabinet, right? They was like, look, man, America always be talking this shit like that, but we'll see what their actions really are. They doing this for their political. We know that they got an election coming up. They always say these things like this. This is just part of their, the little things that they be saying, but we know they ain't really about all that smoke like that, man, because they need us. You know what I'm saying? And you have certain countries where, most of you Americans think that America's just a top dog country on the planet Earth and everything else like that, but it's like certain relationships that, America can go over there and bomb the hell out of these people, but there's certain relationships that America needs to keep America afloat. America's a consumer nation, so it needs, it needs consumer goods brought into it for it to survive. All right, it's just like, you know, oh, you think you all big and bad and you independent, you don't need nobody, you don't need this and you don't need that. All right, so look, if you don't need nobody, what happens when you know, where you get your food from? You got to go to the grocery store to go get your food, don't you? And what happens if the grocery store don't want to accept your money no more, man? All right, what happens if you're you know, banking and stuff like that, they don't want to cash your checks or nothing else like that, man? You can't put your money into these certain banks and everything. You're gonna be stuck out there, man. You need these folks, man. You don't realize how much you need these other resources to be able to use these things, man. So the same thing to be said with you know, America as a consumer nation, man. Hey, well, we kind of need Saudi Arabia to be on our side when it comes to this oil production because, again, understanding of the petrodollar, all right, and them being in you know, taking their money to be, or taking the American dollar for the exchange of oil and everything else like that, man. All right, you know, what if those OPEC nations, the oil producing nations, all right, decided they're gonna take a different currency for their money, man? America's immediately cut off of their life support system when it comes to making that money up off of that oil, man. You don't realize, like, again, how is America so rich? So, you know, how they say America spends more money than the top, I believe, 7 or 9 next countries on military investments, man. How does America be able to spend that kind of money on that type of shit, man? Granted, they just print up a lot of money and go into debt, but how do they get a lot of this here money for these things? I forgot what, let me see, I can look it up real quick. Not going too far off topic, but let me look this up real quick. But going into these things of come on, man. Oh, damn. America is going broke. uh, so let me see. All right, so it's okay. All right. So yeah, this is the numbers I was looking at. So all right, so the U.S. debt is what, $30.9 trillion. Now the GDP is like $19 trillion. Let's just say $20 trillion, right? Every year they're going into debt $10 trillion. God damn it, man. That's some crazy shit. So every year you think you're making money, you're going into debt $10 trillion every year. All right. But again, you know, how is America so strong and quote unquote rich? All right, because again, you know, with that trade and stuff like that, man. Oh, they make so much money off of everybody else buying and selling and trading in oil and everything else like that. So, hey, how do they get to be able to spend so much money on top of their military budget? Well, again, they print a lot of this here money, but at the same time, they're that petrodollar, man. All right, so what they'll do is they'll trade out. Let me see if they'll even give that to you in a definition. What is the petrodollar? Okay, let's see. All right, so they don't have it. They don't have an actual definition or exactly how it's used. But I'll tell you, basically, when any nation want to buy, sell, how they say, convert, or do anything with oil, all right, they need to have the U.S. dollar to be able to do it, right? So these nations, what will happen is, let's say Germany want to buy some oil from, let's say Saudi Arabia, right? Or let's just not say Saudi Arabia. Let's say Iran, right? Two countries that ain't got shit. Well, Germany is an ally of America, but anyway, let's say Germany want to buy some gas from Iran. So what Germany would do is they'll go, let's say they want to get $100 billion worth of that. You know what I'm saying? Let's just say it translates to 100 billion because they got they'll use euros. But instead of using euros to buy, I don't know what Iran uses as their currency, but anyway, let's say instead of getting the Iranian dollar, right, or the euro to be able to buy this here oil, all right, what they have to do, Germany has to do is, all right, we got to convert our money into $100 billion worth of some U.S. dollars to be able to buy in Iran. And so what America does, they'll give them the $100 billion of money, all right? And so whenever Germany has to pay America back for that $100 million, all right, well, they'll get that German money, but instead of Germany giving them $100 million worth of U.S. dollars, Germany gives America $100 million worth of trade, right? Trade credits. Hey, look, we need, because we buy from y'all anyway on certain things, so we need y'all to go ahead and give us $100 million worth of goods for this $100 million worth of U.S. dollars for you to buy this here oil, right? Now on Iran side, because America gave Iran $100 million, or America gave Germany $100 million to trade with Iran. Germany gave the $100 million to Iran. Iran then wants to go get their money back for all that, and they go to America. It's like, look, man, we got this $100 million. We're trying to convert back to our cash. Like, look, we don't want the $100 million back. What we want is $100 million worth of trade from your country. So America being a consumer nation, they're not really even buying stuff one-to-one from your nation. And plus, you didn't give us $100 million, or you trying to give us back $100 million. That shit's only worth to us $75 million. So you done lost $25 million into that. So we want this X amount of dollars in goods. All right, talking to Germany. But then when it comes to Iran, hey, man, this is $100 million worth of some shit that we got over here, man. So America benefits that way off of these different things. So, hey, every time, and they force these nations like Saudi Arabia and them to sell their oil like this, so that, hey, fuck it, if y'all want to, do some business, we gonna make money off of it anyway. So like how in that scenario I gave you between Germany and Iran, America wasn't even in the picture, but guess what? America made basically money off of both nations, man. They got trading product from one nation and trading product from the other nation, man. All right, so hey, this is how America is constantly being fed. All right, but when you go to like places like I said, Saudi Arabia changing up this here or the production of oil and everything else like that, and then also other nations that are selling their currency in a different currency. All right, it's just pretty much cutting America out of the picture, man. All right, so what do you think is going to happen to America overnight? Like I just looked up, let's just say every year they go $10 trillion into debt. So to give it to you in a perspective, let's just say you got your bills, right? Let's say your bills are, let's say you got a car or a house, right? Let's say your rent every month, just keep it simple math, it's $500, right? Or let's make it simple math. Let's say, we could say $500, right? Every month your rent is $500. So you go to pay your rent, but guess what? You only get paid $400, right? So every time you pay your rent, you $100 in the hole, right? So now, you know what I'm saying? This month is $500. You got $500, $400 to pay your $500 rent, right? Now your debt is only $500, but after you pay your rent off, you're $100 short. So now next month rent, we still owe another $500 plus the $100 that you were short from last month. So now your rent is $600. All right, you pay your $400, so now you got $200 left over. The next month, it's your $500 rent plus the $200 you got on top of that. So now you got what? $700, you know what I'm saying, in rent. Pay it again. Now it's $800, you know what I'm saying? So every month that you go by and you pay your little $400 onto your $500 rent, you got $100 left over and it's just being stacked up on top. Every single month you're getting deeper and deeper and deeper in the hole, man. And so this is what you have going on with America, $10 trillion. And now this is not going to stay like this, year after. You can't be like, oh, well, every year America go $10 trillion in debt. Nah, man, this is jumping up at an exponential rate, man. All right, before we was going $1 trillion a year into debt. I think it was the last administration or either Obama's administration. It was a GDP of like, oh, well, America make $20 trillion, but they bills is $21 trillion. So every year they go $1 trillion into debt, which is just fucking crazy. But now you $10 trillion a year into debt. And so, hey, man, it ain't going to be time before all this here money is really worth nothing. That's why you're hearing people talking about dumping a dollar, all right? And all these things are coming to bring America out to the war front, man. All right, global economic collapses, man. We have to have a global, what is called a global reset, man. We got to have a one world currency so people can't manipulate the dollars no more, can't do all these different things and everything else like that, man. We got to come to a new system, man. And please believe that this is what these elites are looking for, man, the World Economic Forum, man. All right, you think, you know, you hear these Americans talking about the commies in China, the commies in Russia. I'm like, hey, bro, these elites, when they go to these World Economic Forums, they don't talk about them people like that, man. Where you had Charles Schwab, or whatever his name is, talking about China. Oh, China's magnificent in their economic situation. They got all these people on this here app and everything. They're all together and they all in this. This is how we want the whole globe to be. And he don't talk about them like they some old shithole countries. No, because they control all of these people, man. They use these people as experiments of how these, like, this is how we're gonna go and do this and go and do that on a large scale, man. What was it in Iraq, man? When they went and did Fallujah, right? They went and how they say liberated or whatever they want to, invaded Fallujah, basically. We'll use the real words. When they went and invaded Fallujah, going door to door, house to house, and everything else like that. All right, checking the folks and kicking down the doors, man, in a week. Hey, that's for when they coming through with this here martial law, man. Take all your guns away from you, man. All right, and then also looking over in China, how they got the Chinese social credit system, man. All right, it's basically the B system they trying to implement over here. But look, they got what, 2 billion people that's already in that system. They can get 2 billion. Think about it. You know what I'm saying? I think it's 2 billion people over here. But anyway, hey man, just think about that. If they can get 2 billion people, man, what's 300 and I think it's, let's say 1 billion people over here. I think is their population. But America's population is only like 330 million people, man. It's like 4 times. China has a population 4 times the size of the American population. So you can have everybody in America chipped 4 times over, man. They already got the system running over here. So these are not examples, but experiments, seeing if these things could actually go forth, man. But like I said, man, when these elites are talking about these things, hey, man, they know exactly what they're trying to get done, man. They know what their agenda is, man. It's just you people that's out here sleeping on these things, man. You don't have any idea these things is coming to pass, man. So, hey, now we have what? You know, these different scenarios that's going on in the earth. What you think of is perplexity to these different nations. But, hey, problem, reaction, solution, man. The Hegelian dialectic, man. They got these things all set forth to bring you to the end game goal, which they already have set forth, man. All right, bringing everybody into this new world order, man. All right, getting everybody chipped out here, man. All right, you know, forcing the economic collapse just to bring in this new economic system, man. So we see all these things. Hey, we've been sent forth to warn you of these things, man. Not to take the chip, man. Not to bow down and fall into this here system, man. But hey, the blind leading the blind out here, they're gonna just all fall into play, man. They're not gonna have faith set up for in those days, man. All right, you know, how we gonna eat out here, man? How we gonna do this? How we gonna do that? Hey, man, you didn't have faith, man. Look at what just happened with the pandemic, man. A lot of these people went and jumped ships because they heard we might as well go ahead and get ahead of the lines now. The job is going to mandate all these things anyway. They're going to go forth with these mandates. You don't really hear anything about those mandates like that no more, man. There's some companies that do have these mandates in play, but hey, man, what's going on with a lot of these companies? They losing out to employees that don't want to work there no more, man. You have some of these people who wind up losing their jobs over these things. Now have lawsuits against their previous employers because they stood their ground. And a lot of these people are winning these lawsuits and coming out like, hey, man, we was making $100,000 a year, but shit, we done sued and we done made like $5 million off this shit. So I wouldn't even have made that in, you know, my whole working career. So hey, I came out better. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but the Lord can deliver us from all these things, man. Hey, look at the men of the Lord, man. We stood firm onto our scenarios, man. All right, you know, you ain't see none of us out here succumbing to any of these things. And hey, even if any of the men of the Lord did get sick, hey, the Lord pulled them through all those things, man. All right, so hey, the Lord is ultimately our provider for these things. We're not looking for Esau for any of these things, but hey, in these last days, man, all these perplexed, problematic situations these people are getting into, man, they're looking for a quick fix, man. They're looking for a way out. But again, this is the Hegelian dialectic: problem, reaction, solution, man. They have the solution before they even brought you the problem, man. And they how they say in the scriptures, the mind of them is deep. They do all this studying and everything else like that, man. Studying the people. Esau's a cunning hunter, man. He know how to get you to go into this here trap, man. He know how to do a certain thing. He know how to, you know, I was watching this little short the other day. They was saying, like, basically how they do a certain type of call, you know, of wounded animals, and this other animal come running out, you know, out the woodwork, man. He come looking for this here wounded animal because it's an easy prey for him. But, you know, all you do is make a sound of a wounded animal or whatever, then this motherfucker gonna come running out to you. And all you gotta do is pick his ass off, man. But you gotta pick him up before he realizes that you try to stump him. But hey, being a cunning hunter, problem, reaction, solution. The solution is I'm trying to hunt this little animal. I don't know where he at, but I'm gonna create a problem. The problem is gonna be the wounded animal sound. The reaction is he's gonna run towards that sound. And then once, he reacts to that, the solution is I done found my prey. I done already wiped his ass out, man. So this is how Esau, is planning this here system, man. What they call the Great Reset, man. All right, resetting all these things and creating all these here problems. Look, we need a scenario where there's no more wars, borderless. We don't need to have these so-called sovereign nations where you can have evil dictators take over and want to go and steal all the resources. If you own nothing, we'll just give it, distribute it out to everybody equally and everything else like that. So you wouldn't have to fight over all these things. You wouldn't have to worry about going bankrupt and losing this and losing that and finding out where you're going to eat from. We'll just feed everybody. We got enough resources to manage on the whole earth, man. Your carbon footprint. Make sure you don't just overconsume certain things, because you got some people that's just overconsuming shit all damn day long, whereas other people don't be overconsuming at all. All right, but hey, man, we know that this is all part of Esau's plan to bring it forth with his enterprise, man, his new world order. But hey, the Lord is gonna, like Scripture say, rain it upon him while he is eating, man. All right, he's gonna disappoint the device of the crafty, so he cannot perform his enterprise, man. All right, so we know that all these things are about to come to an end. We know measuring the time diligently again. All right, we know that our salvation is near, because hey, Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. So we know that all these things are coming to an end. All right, based off of watching, man. We see the setup. We see the his plans are starting to come into how do I say, into straits. All right, how you say, you're moving out of desperation and everything else like that, man, making all these different moves. But hey, and to a person that can't understand and can't perceive these things, it looks like that they just, why is he making these dumb moves? Why they doing this? Why they setting their own self up? These big dummies, they destroying their own self. Nah, man, the Lord is working on. Let's read that real quick, because it's the Lord that's actually doing all these things. This is Proverbs 21. Proverbs 21:1. It says, let me go. Proverbs 20:24. It says, men's going are of the Lord. How can a man understand his own ways? So hey, man, some people say, I don't know what made me do that. I don't know what made me think that. I don't know what made me do this and what made me do that. Hey, men's going is his ways are of the Lord, man. The Lord is, let's read 21:1. It says, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will. So ultimately, these world leaders, all right, their understanding of how they're getting things done and how they're doing things are all of the Lord, man. You may be sitting there watching these big dummies is doing this and these dummies is doing that. Hey, man, all this is when you look back to, like, you say Bush, right? When Bush was in office, like, why would these dummies do this and go over to the Middle East and over there? It was the dumbest war that they ever did and all these different things. Hey, man, you bring in effect Habakkuk 2 verse 5 on down, man, about spoiling all these different nations, and now the remnant of the nation is going to spoil you. That had to have taken place for this disdained taste to be in these nations' mouths, looking at America, man. All right, then you had what's his name, Obama, come into office and set up, and make all the laws for the community people, these moles out here, man. All right, which is doing what, man? I seen an article earlier today talking about how the number of children that's identifying as, all these different genders and everything else like that is exploding to like 200-300 something%. I'm like, yeah, because this is what y'all indoctrinating them with and everything else like that, man. All right, you're creating all these different people. Then you have some of these adults. It's like, man, what's up with all these people that's so soft and so weak and all these different things that's going on? And look at the country. They got a guy speaking about that in the and I think it was a UFC or something like that, saying that America needed to be nuked so that they could be woken up and they could be hardened again. All right, and the scripture go into that, man. The city that dwells carelessly. All right, y'all so-called woke, man. Y'all need to get y'all some sleep out here, man. All right, your mind is, you becoming delusional out here, man. All right, you have all these different people like, hey, look, all they're doing is softening you all up so that you'll sit there and accept and do anything, man. They had a dude questioning this woman about different type of relationships. If this relationship, we'll kind of jump around and talk about some. Do you think incest should be legal? And this is a super woke person, woke society people, and it was like, well, she was so scared of being called out, of not being a so-called, how they say it, inclusive to everybody's mind and everything else like that. She's like, well, I mean, if they're, if that's what they want to do, then yeah. It's like, so a father and his daughter should be able to do whatever, should be able to have a relationship with one another And she was like, well, if if she's over 18 and they're both consenting and there's no alcohol or nothing like that involved, and if that's what they both want to do, then yeah, like, look, man, this is just absurd, man. But you're so, so-called, how you say, so-called soft and so-called weak that you don't have no backbone. Like, nah, bro, that shit's just wrong. You know what I'm saying? Y'all so scared of being so-called canceled with all these folks out here. You know what I'm saying? You sitting over here to pick this here delusion, man. None of you people really have a mind of your own, or strengthen your own self to stand up and speak for righteousness, man. All right, you're all cowering down to wickedness, and this is what this here, I was going in Obama, where he brought forth with the modes and everything else like that, have to include all these people with everything else without hurting their feelings and things like that. You sit here looking at straight up, how you call it? This is straight madness, man. I gotta sit here and this little girl talking about she identifies as a goddamn cat. Now I gotta address her as a cat. I'm not with this old madness, man. This bitch is delusional. The hell are you talking about, man? She need to go to a psych ward, man. You know what I'm saying? Would you allow some chick or any kind of person, I seen a teacher, he was a dude telling me he identifies as a seagull. Would you let this nigga do open heart surgery on you if he identified as a seagull? If his mind is that corrupt, would you allow him to fly an airplane that you finna be riding on? You know what I'm saying? But hey, this is what we got going on. You got these people teaching your kids every damn day. But see, Obama brought these people in like this, so now people so afraid of speaking up for any of these things. Hey man, you gonna just sit there and accept whatever wickedness that they pushing, man. All right, well shit, you know what? I ain't even gonna be trying to be called out from these people and everything. I'm gonna just, yeah, whatever y'all wanna go do, go ahead. That's on y'all. And then they look at y'all right now with this here war with Ukraine. None of y'all is really standing up for none of this. You got some of these folks, but you don't really have too many people here in America standing up against this here Ukrainian thing. But hey, your economy's collapsing over it. They threatening nuclear war with your ass right now over these things, man. You had France, Macron, right? Hey, he said, man, fuck with my peoples over here. Not his French people, but talking about his people with his allyship with his folks, in America and everything else like that. Man, fuck with them niggas is saying, look, we not retaliating with shit nuclear when it comes to Russia. Them, we not using nukes on nobody. They quickly made their stance. Look, we don't want, because they know, look, hey, bro, we not finna drag ourselves and make no threats to Russia. We ain't got no smoke with them, bro. Fuck that. If anything, we gonna have to break free from NATO, bro. We not with this shit no more. But you Americans, hey, man, y'all too damn scared to stand up for your goddamn self now. You being led to the slaughter, but you too damn scared to say, hey, bro, it look like y'all finna, lead us down to the slaughter, bro. What the hell's going on over here, man? But see, you don't have no backbone because you done been made soft out here, man, with all this here bullshit that's going on, man. But hey, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. All right, but hey, so I heard on the radio the other day, they said, you can't tell somebody's unhealthy just by looking at them. Like, motherfucker, if I see a bitch just out here, you can't tell me that a crackhead or a junkie or somebody like that is something wrong with it. They unhealthy by looking at their ass. With the people when the EMS roll up on your ass, you've been in a car accident, you got a big ass hole in the side of your head leaking. You can't tell this motherfucker unhealthy just by looking at them. You can't see somebody honey boo boo and they mama all big, can't even get in the car, all breathing all heavy. You can't tell that they unhealthy just because you don't want to offend nobody. Like, bitch, you overweight. You obese, you overweight, you need to lose weight. That's unhealthy. I identify as a healthy person. I'm anorexic. Like, bro, you delusional. You know what I'm saying? Your health say otherwise. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, it is what it is. But yet, this is what, people are afraid to stand up for these things. But hey, we know at the end all be all, man, that, look, you have, the scriptures say you're going to be persecuted and hated of all men for my name's sake. All right, being brought before the council, before the synagogues of men. Did a video in which, in fact, it was crazy, and I'll say this now, I probably should have opened up with this, but hey, subscribe to my other channels, man. Dawah Reloaded, Dawah Reloaded, Dawah Reloaded 2, and then just Dawah with a period at the end, because I've been noticing they've been attacking my channel for the last, 2 weeks now, man. All right, they didn't took down one video, gave me a community guideline, not really a strike, but they said, you gotta upload your video, says for people 18 and over and under all that stuff, right? So all my videos are for 18 and older. That's always clicked on all my videos. They didn't went back onto one of these videos speaking about the Kanye situation, which we went back and did a different video on. All right, about how touching on some of these things. All right, but anyway, they went back to we had to classify your video as for people over 18 and this and that because of the type of subjects you're talking about. I'm like, my video was already like that, so I already know that y'all didn't so-called shadow ban the video. You know what I'm saying? Because, hey, it is what it is. But, hey, going into the video, just pointing out the fact, like, look, you can identify as whatever you want to identify as, and they got to accept it. But we can't talk about that we the Israelites. This is the most hurtful thing to say. But, look, I can say that if I'm an obese person. No, I'm anorexic. I'm actually underweight. I'm not fat at all. I'm not overweight. I'm underweight. What are you talking about? I got an eating disorder. You know what I'm saying? And y'all got to sit there and, if the, you know, you even have doctors that's afraid of telling folks that they now overweight because they don't want to so-called offend their patients, man. But this is where we are, man. All right? But, hey, look, you bring it all the way up into the times that we're living in now. Hey, man, look at where we at, man. You got these world leaders that's about to draw your ass into World War III, and everybody's afraid to even say anything about that, man. Nobody's want to stand up for themselves like, look, we don't need to be going forth for these things, man. But this is where we at, all right? Going back to 2nd Ezra 9:4, let me go back to 3. It says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, all right, and going back to Luke 21:25, about how, look, you got this here perplexity out here, man. Distress upon nations with perplexity, man. All these different problems and issues with these different nations. Hey, look, what do? Do we sit here and we pull out of this here scenario or in Ukraine? It say, hey, if we pull out, you know, the mainstream media is saying, hey, if we pull out of Ukraine, then all of a sudden that, you know, it's going to be an issue. All right, if we, you know, Russia's going to take over. But then Russia's like, look, if we give up, then what's going to happen, man? They're going to come in, you know, they saying now, look, we're not going to stop till we have regime change in Russia, man. So they can't give those things up, man. They stopped the OPEC scenarios with Saudi Arabia. That's their main peoples, man. They can't, you know, they can't just walk up out of these scenarios as well either, man, because they're going to lose that petrodollar status, man. So, look, when you look into all these different scenarios, man, it's like, yo, everything is pretty much a quagmire, man. Everybody's pretty much stuck into a scenario where they can't pull out of these things, man. They got to go full force with all these different scenarios, man. All right, so, hey, you know, it's like America had to go over there and blow up the little pipeline in the Nord Stream 2 pipeline with these things, man. So now that forces, what, Germany to be, hey, now we got to go forward with this here situation. Or we got to pull out and be in so-called allies with America, man. So now everybody has to, like, look, you either have to put up or shut up, man. You either have to, you know, how they say, you have to know when to fold them, all right, know when to hold them, and know when to get up and leave, man. All right, so this is the points where we at now, again, measuring the time diligently in itself, man. We should know that, hey, look, we're at a time of no return, man. You pull out of Ukraine, like America say, you pull out of Ukraine, hey, Russia gonna take over the whole world. Well, what, you know, I seen another video on this too. It was like, yo, Russia has to win this here war. They cannot lose this here war. You know, America can afford to lose the Ukrainian war because, hey, they're just going over there trying to hijack and steal every damn thing, man. All right, but look, if Russia is to pull out, or if Russia is to lose that war, what happens, man? America takes over, you know, over there, put them all into subjection, make them forget about that, and keep on going and have hegemony over the whole earth, man, and have dominance over all the resources of the earth, man. Put every nation in subjection up under them, man. But Russia's like, nah, hell no. If we can't, look, worst come to worst, man, we're going to have to press the button. And this is where it's going to lead to, man. Leading you to your own schemes, Job 18, man. Your own schemes is leading you to your own downfall, man. Bringing you to the king of terrors, man. All right, because, look, these people have no choice but to succeed over here in defending themselves, man. If we allow y'all to break in over here, it's just like you know, some type of war, some type of fight, man. You in the house with your woman, and some niggas is trying to break in and ravish your wife. If you allow them to get through you in that front door and everything else like that, they finna have their way with your wife, your kids, and everything else like that. So, hey, look, they can afford to lose. They can afford to lose because they're gonna just go and retreat. But if you wind up losing, you can't afford to lose. They finna come and have their way. They're gonna put you to death, have their way with your wife, and do whatever they want to go and do with your kids, man. You can't afford to lose, man. So this is the perplexed scenario that Russia is in right about now, man. Same with China and Taiwan. China is like, look, America can afford to lose because they're the invader, man. They can afford to not take over Taiwan because, hey, man, well, we'll just go find, you know, because they want the semiconductor business, right? You know, Taiwan semiconductor, that's a staple in these microchips and everything else like that, you know? Everything going to a technical situation, the MOTB and everything else like that. Taiwan is the you know, where they get the resources for those things at. Well, look, fuck it. You know, if we lose, if America lose in Taiwan, right, then we just got to go find somebody else or make our own goddamn semiconductors, man. It's going to cost us a little bit more money, but, hey, we'll survive. Or, you know what I'm saying, we take over and then, you know, we got the complete monopoly over it. Now, China's like, look, if they take over this here shit, they finna have a military right here on our borders. And now we can't move our military without them over here saying, oh, y'all encroaching on us or them bombing us. And they got us at a current threat. It's like, yo, bro, you got your missiles right here on our borders. And at any point in time, we always at threat with you. And 10 minutes later, you can be bombing us, right? You know, you can launch these missiles, and in 10 minutes, you could be bombarding us with missiles. Whereas, if we want to shoot missiles on you, we got to fly our missiles all the way on the other side of the globe, or we got to pull up on your whole nation with our ships. It's going to take days and weeks for us to get there, man. So, we can't afford to lose over here, man. All right? Saudi Arabia and them. They can't afford to lose over here because look, man, look, we've been up under this American hegemony the whole time, cutting these nations off. They don't give a damn if we wind up losing out over here, or if we lose resources and everything else like that. Hey, they don't mind any of these things, man. All right, but see, look, America's just like, look, man, if we wind up losing, we'll just have to play a fair game like everybody else, man. So this is the perplexity of nations that's going on right about now, man. Germany and Europe and everything else like that, man. They in a scenario that's like, look, bro, do we stay along with Russia? And you got the scenario with Russia. Let me where's that at? Same chapter. Nah, let me jump over to chapter 15. All right. Well, let me read chapter 16 and then go back to 15. Second Ezra 16 and verse 17. Yep. It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days, the beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague and tribulation are sent as anguish, and anguish are sent as scourges for an amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor always be mindful of the scourges. So going into these things, man, a lot of these people don't realize that these are the judgments that's going forth from the Lord from their wickedness, man. All these different problems are arising because what? The Lord is trying to, how you say, wake you up and show you about these things that's coming to pass. But hey, most people are blind and oblivious to these things, right? So going back to verse 18, it says, the beginning of sorrows and great mourning. All right, you know, you've been having these things since what the pandemic started, mass deaths that's been taking place, economic collapse that's taking place, man. All right, more and more homelessness is rising up. You know, they talking about cutting off these little gigs and everything, these subcontractors and everything, like your Uber, Lyfts, and DoorDash jobs is about to be all cut. And most of these big corporations are already gone and shut down from the pandemic anyway. They don't have the extra money to be paying for your health insurance like Obama put into place. So, hey, a lot more people are about to be out of work, man. All right, plagues, pestilence, economic woes, all these different things is taking place around the globe right about now. And, you know, most people are just trying to get by, man. All right, the one thing that's been going up or two things that's been going up in the time like this, man, alcohol and selling the sex, man. All right, you know, you got more and more of these OnlyFans workers busting on the scene. All right, and then you have more and more alcohol and drug consumption that's going on. And speaking of the OnlyFans things, a lot of that, all that's really starting to crash on them right now, man. All right, because you had a wave of these women that that's that Nunu. They had a wave of these adult stars pretty much you know, offing themselves, man, over the last couple years in the droves, man. All right, then you had a lot of these women that's doing the OnlyFans nowadays, but then now a lot of them are getting caught in their jobs. All right, and a lot of these things. I forgot where this one woman was just recently working. She got in the ER or something like that, or in the hospital. She's working somewhere in the hospital, and she said she got called in the office and wound up having to get fired because the people at her job found out that she was on it, and she was always the talk of the job and everything else like that. It was breaking people's focus from working, and that's all that they could talk about. She lost her job, and now these women are all furious about these things, man. So this is you know, victory should be so good, cheap upon the earth. They should think themselves. We just read that, right? Verse 20. Let me go. Let me just start back at the top. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils come? Like I was talking about earlier, not everybody's gonna see all these things at the same level, the same effect, and everything else like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like people like Jay-Z and Beyonce, they're not really worried about the fucking grocery store price, food going up. They're not really worried about gas prices going up and everything else like that. But look, you that's on your little limited amount of money, your food stamps and everything else like that, or you know, you got to make every dollar count and everything. Hey, you worry more about it because you're in a different boat than they in, right? But look, all these things are drawing near. Some people are blind to these things and some people aren't, right? So in all these different things, you know, a lot of people was losing their jobs. You know, men were feeling this financial crunch. But hey, with more and more people staying at home, you have a lot of these women, like I said, starting OnlyFans and things like that. They had that little hype. I'm about to start making this here money, making all this here money. You know, they get a quick little boost in income. But then, hey, you know, you start flooding the market with all this here, you know, this here stuff on OnlyFans, and then guess what? Their revenue starts going down. And that's another little story. They got all these different documentaries on this here stuff where how these women started this stuff and thought that they was gonna be living all nice, and didn't even make it a whole year into that. You know, a couple months was all good, like super good. Oh, I done made you know, 10,000, 20,000, 40,000, 100,000 in a couple months. But then now all of a sudden I don't make no more money off of this. My whole shit done went down. People just stopped subscribing and everything else like that. Then all of a sudden you can't go back to normal work now. You know, you done made a quick 40, 50, 60, 70,000 dollars in 1 year, but now you out the workforce forever. All right, just think about it this way, man. Would you rather, you know, take a one-time $100,000 paycheck, you know what I'm saying, and never get paid ever again, or would you rather take, you know, $40,000 a year for the rest of your life? All right, that $40,000 a year for the rest of your life. Yeah, the 100,000 is quick money, but after that 100,000 is gone, you ain't got nothing. That 40,000 every single year, at least you're gonna constantly keep getting the income. All right, but hey, this is the traps that these people fall into, man. All right, but it says, behold, famine and plague and tribulation and anguish are sent for scourges and for an amendment. You know, and I remember when you know, lockdown was happening, everybody was sitting up in their homes and everything else like that. You know, couldn't afford this, couldn't afford that. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't go out. Everybody was at home, and that's when a lot of these women became these little Instagram models, OnlyFans models, and things like that. Started showing off their little lavish lifestyle and everything else like that. All right, it says. Verse 21, behold, victory shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves in a good case. Even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. So again, going into these things, hey, they think everything is good because I'm making a bag right about now. All right, when the PPP little scams was going on, everybody was over here flossing, everybody was balling at that point in time, man. But then all of a sudden, hey, look at people right about now, man. People that you knew a year ago, 2 years ago, that was whipping paper tag, Hellcats, and everything else like that, they can't even get a goddamn bus pass right now, man. All right, they over here trying to get a, hey, bro, can you come pick me up, man? Can you come do this and can you come do that for me right now, man? People that was living in these little high-rise buildings and everything else like that, man, they got to go get them a sugar daddy going from house to house to house to house, man. That hot girl that was over there selling her OnlyFans, hey, she got to go take a shower at the damn gym with her gym membership and living in her car over in this here parking garage, man. So they thought that everything was all good and everything was all sweet at a certain point in time, but guess what? Evils are growing upon the earth, man. Even right now in this here point in time, man, you got people, like I said earlier, man, I made this comment earlier, man. Jake took his little paycheck and got his money and went and got some 26s, and look, next week, shit hit the fan. You can't afford gas, can't afford food and everything else like that. Now you got to go get rid of the 26s, man. All right, now you got to go get rid of the, you know, this new shit that you done went and bought, man. All these different things are now starting to blow up into your face economically to the point to where it's like, yo, you know, you thought yourself was in a good case. You know, everybody was saying, I remember before the pandemic, oh, I'm good, I got this, I got that, and so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying, folks, man, when business started shutting down and everything else like that, man, you know, I started seeing a lot of people delivering pizzas and Hellcats and all these expensive cars and everything else like that. And, you know, back before all the pandemic started, you just thought that these people had made dumbass life decisions. Like, these are some stupid-ass black people who went out and bought them like a Benz or a Beamer just because it's flawed, but they can't really afford the shit. Now they over here delivering pizza and this shit. But, like, nah, these Edomites who was working, let's say, as a doctor or something like that could afford these things. Economic woes came on down the pipeline, trying to pay for or work without the jab and everything else like that. Now they had to quit their job. Now they got to have a 2-job income and everything else like that. The wife might have lost their job. So now, you know what I'm saying, we over here downsizing, but before I downsize all the way, let me go ahead and pick up a second and a third job, man. All right, let me just go ahead and use what I got to go and deliver pizza. But like, yo, this is how things are starting to go down the drain. They used to think themselves in a good case, but more and more evils are growing upon them, man. Like I said, man, a year, 2 years ago, man, you seen everybody riding around. When the PPP was hitting, man, seen everybody riding around with paper tags and driving everything fresh. They was like, if you broke out here, nigga, you just a bum. If you ain't got 3 iPhones, so you broke out here. If you ain't driving foreign, you broke out here. Hey, man, where these niggas at right about now, man? All right, they all scamming. Send me $50, I'm turning to $5,000 type of niggas, man. But, hey, this is the same thing that you have going on right about now, man. Same with these OnlyFans folks, man. Yeah, they was over here talking about all these different things. You know, the talk of the town was how much money they making off of this stuff beforehand. Now the stuff is that they getting exposed by their family. Now they can't get jobs. Now they got fired from their jobs because they found out about their OnlyFans. These are the stories that you hear now about OnlyFans on YouTube nowadays, man. Before it was just how much money I'm making off this shit. Now it's how I got fired from my job because they found out I got an OnlyFans. Now you can't work nowhere else because of this. You know what I'm saying? Your OnlyFans, like, think about that, man. And you still got your goddamn job at the hospital and you doing OnlyFans. That means your OnlyFans ain't really taking off to actually replace your regular job that you already got with the OnlyFans. So now that you done lost your regular job and your OnlyFans, what the fuck? You just lost all the way out on all this way out, man. So, hey, man, this is like, you know, end of all this economics for everybody, man. But guess what's going to be that saving grace, man? That great temptation is coming upon the earth. Hey, look, we can feed you, bro. We can pay your bills. We can make sure none of this here shit stop. Go ahead and take this here chip, bro. Go ahead and take this here mark, man. Go ahead and bow down to this here system and let's just keep everything going, man. And think about all these people that's living off this materialistic type of stuff, to be doing all this here. For you to be able to go and sell your damn body. Now, granted, everybody is demoralized anyway today, but for you to be going out there and selling your body, you something mentally has to be wrong with you, man. You've been demoralized already. Fuck it, I'm gonna just go ahead and go do this for all this for some money. So think about that, man. If they willing to go sell their body for everybody else, how much more for them to go take this goddamn chip, man? You know what I'm saying? When it comes time for them to get the MOTB, they gonna be willing to go do this, man. I done already sold my body. I'd have been selling sex in the backseat of my car, doing OnlyFans, doing all kind of vile, wicked shit for $1. This is just me getting the damn, and this gonna make my life easier. Might as well go get this here chip. Hey, man, we see how this great temptation is gonna come upon the whole earth, man. But hey, they think themselves in a good case, man, because they can just so-called eat right now. They can turn up right now. They don't see this destruction coming, man. They don't see the things that's going on around them right about now, man. They don't have the eyesight to see these things, man. And their ears are dull of hearing, and they can't see these, hear these things as being spoken unto them by the prophets, man. All right, all these people are let me read that real quick in 2nd Ezra 8. And, what's that? 2nd Ezra 8 and, that's it. 40 something. Second Ezra 8 and 50. It says, for many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter days shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. All right, so hey, these people again, walking in that great pride, they think they're gonna be saved from all these things. This ain't gonna affect me, this ain't gonna touch me, these things, I'm gonna escape from all these things. I don't know what y'all talking about, but hey, guess what? We're gonna escape all these things. But hey, at the end all be all, man, the Lord has got your name and your number, man. All right, like I said, it's funny to see all these people that was over here flexing on all these different things. Oh, y'all go get y'all paper up, go get this and go get that. I remember, hey, before 2020, been on the highways and the byways, man, people used to always say, y'all bums, go get jobs, go get y'all homeless, y'all bums, and this and that. And it's like 2020 came around, everybody started losing their damn jobs. Hey, we was all employed. We still out here, going to the grocery store. I remember being with the brothers, man, going to the grocery store around them times, and everybody got long faces, making life-changing decisions in the damn grocery store line. We over here buying bottles of wine. We about to go and eat and turn up, while y'all over here like, damn, bro, this might be our last little meal for everything. And man, the Lord know how to provide for his. The scripture say, roughly paraphrasing, laugh now, cry later. Those that's laughing now, they're going to sorrow later. All right, and how the Lord's service was going to eat. They was going to be hungry and everything else like that, man. All right, all these great miseries are starting to grow upon the earth, but they was blind to all these things, man. They didn't want to hearken unto these things as we was telling them about. Oh, y'all fear-mongering and everything, prophesying to us smooth things, tell us lies and deceit. But now the reality is coming to pass, man. Everybody that was calling us bums and everything else like that, hey, homelessness is on the rise right about now. All right, and it's not amongst the men of the Lord, man. It's amongst those of you that was proud, man. All these great miseries are falling upon you because you walked in that great pride. Oh, this ain't gonna never happen to me. I ain't gonna never see no L's. I ain't gonna never catch no L's out here. I'm always gonna be up on top. Now look at you. The Most High done broke your ass down in ways that you never even thought of, man. Because you had your plans and your mindsets. Oh, I got a good job, a good paying job. My job, this company gonna be here forever. All these things is going on, but you never thought that they would have a economic turndown where they was like, look, we're gonna have to close up this here shop forever. I got my own business. I own my own restaurant. Hey, look, man, we're gonna need all these small businesses to shut down, man. Y'all can't even be open no more. Now, you gotta keep paying rent, you know what I'm saying, and the overhead and everything else like that. But then you can't even afford to, what's going on, man? You can't even afford to be in, in business no more, man. You gotta throw away all this here food that was in your freezer that you didn't sell for this here time frame. And you gotta shut down business, man. So, hey, they know how to get you where you heard it, man. So, again, none of your so-called carnal ways can save you from these things, man, because the Lord knows how to sit there and, it's like playing chess with the Most High, man. You may not see his direct move he's about to make. You think that you all safe and everything else in this here position, but lo and behold, the Lord come up and checkmate. All of a sudden, man, how is that checkmate? You playing chess and somebody checkmate, you know what I'm saying, or checkmate, one of the two. Like, how I'm in check? You looking at the board? I don't see. What you mean check, bro? Oh, damn, I am in check. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, you can't move there. You only got one move you can make. You ever play a game of chess like that? But they hit you with a check. It's like, man, where I'm at? Check. What you mean? I can move here. I can move here. I can move. If you move here, you in check. If you move here, you in check. If you move here, you in check. And if you move here, you in checkmate. You only got one move that you can make. And that one move that you're going to make, by the time you move there, my very next move, you in checkmate. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's how these people are out here, man. All right, a lot of people thought that, hey, I'm about to come up, again, going in a PPP scam. So I'm about to come up off of this here stuff. You in a way worse boat than you was in beforehand, man. All right, you know, you was peddling a little bit of shit here and there. The local police they wasn't really looking for you or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if they would have caught you with your shit, you would have probably went to jail for like, you know, until you got your court hearing. Then they would have hit you with a little fine or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You would have been out with $500 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But now you done did this PPP scam. Now the feds is looking for your ass, man. Now you about to do some real prison time, man. Now you actually owe back some money that you didn't even have to begin with, man. All right, you done went and splurged a little bit. I done got $100,000 from this here shit, man. Went and got me a Rolls Royce, down payment on that. Your credit all fucked up, the car all repossessed. You was flossing on all these different people now. Everybody looking at you, man. That's the worst feeling to be in, man. Walking around with that great pride, and all of a sudden that misery hits your ass. Like, look, I thought you was just over here shitting on everybody. I thought you was never gonna see no L's or nothing like that, man. And now look at you. You out here begging for money, man. All right, but look, the men of the Lord are still out here rejoicing because why? Salvation is getting nearer than what we believe, right? We keep seeing more and more of our salvation getting closer and closer and closer, while everybody else out here taking L's on the streets, man. All right, hey, man, y'all getting homeless out here. Y'all can't economically eat out here. Your country about to go to war. Your allies is walking away from you. Everything is all in disarray right about now, man. But call halal, Yahweh, Shimmy, Awashah, because our salvation is getting that much more closer. But for y'all, it's not looking good for y'all out here, man. All right, things is going downhill for y'all out here, man. You thought that things was going to bounce back, man. Y'all thought everything was going to get better. Things is 1,000 times worse, man. You thought that, you know, because the pandemic happened, everything shut down. Then when the pandemic lifted up and everything started opening back up, y'all thought that was the end of everything. We bounced back everything. We getting money, PPP money. Hey, you got a war with Ukraine and this shit about to go nuclear over here, man. That's worse than being locked down with the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Your global economic trade is slowing down. You know, energy, gas, and resources and other trade, all that shit is coming to an end, man. You might can have all the money in the world, but when it's costing you, you know, shit, recently we just had gas prices going up with $5 and some change a gallon, more than $5 and some change for a gallon of gas, man. Hey, man, when gas is like, look, bro, it's going to be $20 a gallon, bro. You know what I'm saying? Or some outrageous price like that, man. Hey, man, it ain't going to matter how much money you got when you got to use it all just to fill up your gas tank worth of gas, man. All right, you can have as much money as you want, but if it costs all that much money to go and buy a loaf of bread at the store, man, none of all that shit ain't going to matter no more, man. All right, and that's going to cause, let's get back to it. 2 Ezra 15 and verse 14. Woe unto the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up to fight with swords in their hands. And now going back into this, you know, we're going to get to the lack of bread, you know, like I was just going into. But also going back into, like we was reading about earlier, about the uproars of the people in the world. All right, all these different things is going into what? The lack of resources, man. All right, so you're starting to see more and more the lack of resources, economic collapses, economic woes. Right now you have the energy crisis over there in Europe. All right, Germany and France and stuff like that. Hey, man, you got protests. These people over there protesting in these nations right now, man. All right, you got they had the protest in Prague. All right, it was the Czech Republic. All right, you have protests in what is it? France that's going on right now. You have protests in Germany that's going on right now. Hey, and with the protests that they saying right now, you know, some of the protests is like, hey, we don't want nothing to do with Ukraine no more. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to support Ukraine no more. The people are telling their governments they don't want the governments to keep supplying Ukraine with weapons and money and everything else like that because they don't want to feel the blowback. All right, you got Germany. All right, this pulling out, saying, hey, look, we need to get up out of NATO, man. We don't need to keep going on with this NATO situation because they just fucking it up for us. All right, you got France is saying the same thing, man. Hey, man, look, you know, the civilians, right? You have the civilians. Again, check the temperature of France, man. Emmanuel Macron just said, look, man, we're not retaliating with nothing to do with nukes when it comes to Russia, man. We don't want that smoke at all. We letting y'all know right now, look, we ain't got shit to do with it. Look, no matter what they say, we not throwing no nukes into the conversation, bro. We ain't even trying to go down that path because they know, hey, man, the war gonna hit them in Europe before it hit America first because they so damn close, man. All right, and then really how the missile defense systems is set up, a lot of those missiles have to be shot, you know, over, you know, a lot of America's missile defense systems takes place in Europe first, all right? You know what I'm saying? They have all the, to be able to shoot the missiles out of the sky or out of space and everything else like that before they even come down, all right, to hit America, man, before the ones that's on the American borders is to try to, how do I say, take them out of flight. All right, so, hey, going back into this here, you know, the European nations that's up in arms over these things, man, hey, they like, look, bro, we don't want the smoke because we know that we're going to have to sit here and face this here nuclear war first, and we don't want that, man. We don't want these problems, man. But yet and still, you know, you have the like I said, the population that's over there bucking up against, you know, their world leaders as far as, hey, look, we don't want to keep continuing on with this here NATO situation. We need to worry about our own interests. You know, we need to worry about us first. We need to worry about the things that we got going on before we worry about everything else, because they're going to bring us into a situation of war, and we don't want that, man. All right, we need to pull out of NATO because NATO isn't benefiting us, man. Look at Germany and the Nord Stream pipeline situation, man. You know, the people that's out there in Germany is realizing, hey, look, man, we already in an energy crisis time, energy crunch time, where we over here trying to figure out if we're going to be able to make it or not. And y'all over there blowing up our pipeline and everything else like that, and then now all of a sudden, we got to sit here and double up on our electrical bills, man, our energy bills, man. So what are we going to do in this scenario? Are we going to keep following along with y'all to our demise, or are we going to break free and do our own things, man? All right, so now you have, again, the stress upon nations with perplexity, man. All right, so hey, do we pull up out of NATO and now we are enemies or at war with America? Or hey, is that really a hard decision to make? It seems like we already at odds ends with America right about now, man. NATO over here blowing up our life support line from Russia, man. Telling us we got to sanction them, telling us we got to go to war with them, blowing up the physical pipeline from here to there. So what do we do? What do you want us to do in these scenarios, man? All right. This is a perplexed problem that we have going on right about now, man. We don't know it's not just as easy as saying, hey, we're going to just turn on them, because, look, we got to, you know, it's not as easy as just, hey, stick with your allies, because, look, well, sticking with our allies is really suicide to our economy. So what do we do here? All right, you know, OPEC and all that. What do we do here? Do we cut America off or keep going along with America? Because if we stay attached to them, it's just a slow death unto us, man. All right, so, hey, this is, you know, a situation that you have to go into, man. All right, but continuing on, 2 Ezra 15 and 14, it says, woe unto the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their acts shall stand in their power. So again, like going into these scenarios of these different nations, the civilian populations that's standing up right now and protesting against their governments, all right, to pull up out of NATO, to get to stop arming in Ukraine, all right, uprising over the economic increase in energy and everything else like that in their nations, man. All right, hey, these world leaders are gonna have a serious decision to make, man. Do we upset the American, you know, the American politicians, or do we allow our civilians to overthrow us and throw us up out of our leadership positions, man? Because, hey, man, you know, you got to deal with a nation that's over here supposed to be militarily supporting us and everything, militarily supporting us, but in fact, they militarily endangering us right now, man. Because what they doing, like, for us to, you know, what's the benefit of us hanging out with NATO? Well, we get military support of a nation trying to invade us or something like that, i.e. Russia. Well, Russia ain't trying to invade us. They need us. They in that perplexed relationship, that entanglement with them. It's like, look, nigga, Germany or Russia don't really want to fuck with Germany like that, because it's like, why would I want to go to war with your ass when you buying all the natural gas from me anyway? You the one lining my pocket, so I might not like your ass, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, like, put it to, this is like Jake talk, cause this is how Jake know how to understand shit. You the dope boy, right? You don't like Ray Ray up the block, cause Ray Ray up the block always be on some stupid shit, man. You know what I'm saying? But Ray Ray up the block, he your number one customer. He buy all the dope from you. You might not like this nigga, but you know what I'm saying? The nigga that you actually like is your boy and everything else like that. He always wants you to let him borrow some. Hey man, let me get it. Come on man, let me get that on some consignment, man. You know I'm good for it. You know I'm good for it. Like, nah man, I know you my boy. I can't. Hey, but Ray Ray up the block, I don't even like this nigga, man. This nigga keep breaking into my shit. You know what I'm saying? But he spend more money than anybody else out here. So you know what? I ain't gonna really. You know what I'm saying? He broke in and he stole, what, 35 cents off my counter and shit like that. But the nigga be coming by every week with $400-500 worth of some dope. So, fuck it, I'll just roll it out with him anyway. You know what I'm saying? This is the relationship between Russia and Germany and France and all these other nations over there. It's like, I mean, hey, wait, NATO is supposed to protect us from you, but you're not really a threat unto us. In fact, you selling to us. So it would be a bad scenario for you to even go to war with us, because you're cutting off your own supply. Again, why would I sit over here and call the police on Ray Ray? Because Ray Ray would be breaking into people's shit. You know what I'm saying? Or man, Ray Ray was DUI right now or doing some stupid shit. Now, if I call the police on him, he gonna go get locked up, right? Just because I'm mad that he having a party next door, right? And you know what I'm saying? Let's just say hypothetically, he having a party next door, shit all loud, and I can't sleep. I can call the police on him. I know he got warrants. So the police gonna go get him and arrest his ass, and he gonna be in jail for a long time. Do I call the police on him because I can't sleep tonight because he got his music up too loud? He don't normally party that much, right? But see, he my #1 customer when it comes to selling this here dope to him. Fuck that, I'm gonna just not sleep tonight and keep getting this dope money up off of Ray Ray, man. It ain't that serious. That dope money he bringing in, that's what's paying my bills. That's what's got me living in this here house, man. This is how Russia's looking at these so-called people that's paying for protection in NATO from them right now. Or this is how these nations are looking at Russia right now, all right? It's like, well, the only reason we in NATO, all right, is from the threat against Russia. Russia is not really the aggressor trying to fight us right now, man. All right, you don't see these nations as the civilian population is out there uproaring. You don't see them protesting and angry with Russia. They not over here screaming on Vladimir Putin like that. Who they screaming on? They screaming on America, man. Hey, we got to get up out of NATO. And when they say NATO, they talking about get from under that American arm, man. We got to get away from America right about now, man. These are the nations that's looking at them. Let's read this real quick before we go back to that. This come out almost every week as well, too. Isaiah 14:16, it says, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake the kingdoms, that made the world a wilderness, that destroyed the cities thereof, that opened out the house of his prisoners? So this is what these nations are saying right about now, man. Hey, man, you the problem. Russia ain't the problem. You keep telling us that we need NATO to how I say, not to support us, but to protect us from the USSR. The USSR don't even exist no more, bro. Oh, we got to stop Russia from this. If they don't, they're going to keep advancing and taking over the whole globe. We got to stop them from trying to get up in Ukraine. When they going to stop trying to take over the whole world? Well, Russia ain't the one that's been invading the whole goddamn planet Earth. It's America that's been invading the whole planet Earth. This is one of those little funny meme type joke questions like, is NATO getting closer to Russia, or is Russia is Russia moving their borders closer to NATO, or is NATO moving its borders closer to Russia? Right? And the politically correct answer for that is Russia is moving its borders closer to NATO. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, is my fist getting closer to your face, or is your face getting closer to my fist? They will have you say politically correct, well, your face got closer to my fist, and your face hit my fist and knocked yourself out. I didn't swing on your ass. You got close to my fist, and then, hey, you shouldn't have ran into my fist like that, man. That's your fault. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, we all know what the truth is. Your ass swung on his ass. You stole on him, and then now he knocked out, man. That's what happened. But, hey, this is what these nations are having to make these decisions with right about now, man. All right? Give me a second. But, hey, you have all these different nations that's taking in consideration how all these things are affecting their nations, affecting their economies. Like I said, man, is these the stress upon nations with perplexity, man. It's like, look, you as a world leader, right? Let's say you're the leader of France. You have to ask yourself, look, bro, do I want to piss off my American counterparts, or do I want to have my people, my civilian population, pissed off at me, and then they trying to oust me in my governmental palace or presidential palace type thing, and have me hung out in the streets, man? Which one do I go against, man? All right, because, hey, either way, it's going to lead to our demise. If I go along with America, all right, it's going to lead to an economic death and everything else like that. We're going to go into starvation. They're not going to come to our aid or anything else like that, man. The civilian population is going to be starved out. They're going to try to throw me up out of this here office. They're going to, let's read it again. 2nd Ezra 15 and 16. Let's go to 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So, hey, what do you want to have? Civil unrest? All right, mobs in the streets, invading these presidential buildings and governmental buildings and everything else like that, man? Do we want that on one side, or do we want America trying to sanction us and trying to go to war with us? All right, because, hey, if we, would you rather go to war with America and them, or would you rather go to war with Russia and them and have resources? Because if you go to war with Russia and them, you go on to war with Russia with no resources. How the hell is Germany and France gonna fight a goddamn war with Russia? All right, when they ain't got no energy or natural gas to even for their civilian population. They're not trying to gather resources for war right now. They're just trying to gather resources to make it through the wintertime with their civilian population. So if they can't get the civilian population just to make it through the wintertime like that, it's like trying to feed, Americans right about now when ain't shit going on. We just trying to feed you Americans through the weekend and shit like that, versus trying to feed America throughout wartime. There's a difference with that, man, because you have people that be putting how you call them, basically sieges on you, right? Where they stop trade from going in. And we get all these products and stuff from China, like in the middle of a war. Like, well, we're not gonna be sending y'all shit in the middle of the war to keep y'all population up. We want to put y'all under siege so y'all get weakened up and everything else like that, man. So, hey, this is the situation that you have going on. So, hey, man, these nations thinking, hey, look, fuck it. If we go to war with on America's side against Russia, Russia's the one supplying us with all this shit. We're not gonna last one day up in this bad boy, man. We're gonna freeze throughout the winter, especially if it's the winter time. We'll freeze before we can even mount up to go to war, man. But if we fight up against America, at least we'll have, you know, the back end of you know, the resources that we need with this. And not just that, it's not gonna just be us that's turning on them, man. And it's not just America and all of their allies that we got to fight up against, because their ally list is getting shorter and shorter and shorter, and their enemy list is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So now, you know, this is the questions being weighed out with these different nations, as the scriptures say. Let me grab that real quick. I would read this in the NLT. It's a lot better to read. Matter of fact, let's read that in the NLT. Obadiah 1:7 says, Obadiah 1:7 in NLT, it says, all your allies will turn against you. They will help chase you from the land. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive you. All right, and that's what they're doing right now, promising you peace. They ain't really saying too much of nothing. All right, or they're choosing their words carefully when they're saying certain things. I know Emmanuel Macron is like that, man. Hey, we got to be diplomatic. We can't just be calling these folks out like that. We can't label them a state-sponsored terrorists like that. Hey, we ain't going to use no nukes over there like that. We got to be diplomatic now. We going to still keep arming Ukraine, but we going to watch how we talking this shit to Russia. Let's make a clear line. That's what they talking about over there. I'm going to let you know what we talking about over here. We not with them when it's talking like that rhetoric they talking over there. We talking about it and say, look, we're going to use whatever response is necessary, however they want to act, we're going to act the same way. We got a preemptive strike on the table and everything. Emmanuel Macron's like, we who? You know what I'm saying? Cat Williams had a joke like that, like, if we done got ourselves in a nuclear war, nigga, I went up and went to work this morning. Y'all did this shit, man. You know, and this is what you got going on right now, man. All right? So it says, all your allies will turn against you and will help chase you from your land. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. Your trusted friends will set traps for you, and you won't even know about it. So, hey, your trusted friends, your trusted allies, oh, they're a great friend, they're a great ally, they're our number one ally and everything. Hey, man, the whole time they plotting up against you right about now, because look at what your actions are doing, man. All right, you wasn't plotting for Germany's peace and Europe's peace when you went over there and blew up the Nord Stream 1 and 2 pipelines. You wasn't thinking about them then. Well, you was thinking about them. You was thinking about how to force them to stay inside the stay course of what your plans was, man. But you don't realize that these are your I should have read that in NLT as well too, but I'm gonna just read this. All right. Job 18:7 says, the steps of his strength shall be straightened. His own counsel shall cast him down. All right, and in NLT it says, his own devices shall be his downfall, man. Or roughly paraphrasing, his own schemes shall be his downfall is what it says, right? His own, you know how you plotting and scheming on somebody real quick. Look, if I do this and do that, they gonna think it's so on and so forth. But hey, in reality, man, this is just bringing you to your own downfall, man. All right, this is bringing your allies to start to hate you, man. This is bringing your own allies to sit there and make these perplexed decisions. Like I said, man, hey, do we stay on course with America, knowing the type of shit that America's over here doing? All right, they willing to go over here and blow up our life support over here. All right, just for them to sit there and benefit what they benefiting from. And then once let's say we win the war over there, let's say we win all this shit, these conflicts that they got going on, will the shit ever stop? All right, and the answer is no, man. Because before you can even finish up the conflict in the Middle East, all right, what happened? You just, fuck it, we ain't finished in Iraq, we're going to spread to Afghanistan. We didn't finish over there, we're going to spread to Libya. We didn't finish in Libya, we're going to spread over to Syria. We didn't even finish in Syria, we're going to go in and start in Ukraine. All right, now we starting to pull out of Afghanistan, but we still in Ukraine, right? Now we in Ukraine, now we about to go start over in Taiwan. Like, motherfucker, you ain't gonna never stop. Like the scripture say, well, we can read it. This come out every week too. But this is the spirit that we in, man. All right, this is what you being called out for right about now, man. All right, I didn't read this so much that this damn page is broken off. All right, Habakkuk 2:5, it says, yea, also because he transgresses by wine, all right, he is a proud man and neither keepeth at home. All right, hey, transgressing by wine. We have to do these things because, again, you know, different wines, man. All right, hey, tear down that wall, Mr. Gorbachev, and we promise we won't move an inch closer to the east. The whole time, NATO is encroaching, or I'm gonna stop using NATO. The American empire, right, is getting its borders, expanding its borders closer and closer around the globe, man. All right, it's wrapping their arms further and further around you, man. All right, these are the things that's been constantly happening. But hey, that wine you done sold them, man. Sold them a drink, got them all drunk, lying to them, finessing them. Hey, man, we ain't gonna get no closer to you, but yet still the whole time, you know, let your guards down. You ain't gotta worry about us. You can trust us. The whole time you getting closer and closer onto them, man, endangering them even more. All right, going into these scenarios. Hey, man, look, you know, we gotta fund this Ukrainian war because Russia's the aggressors. Russia's taking over. This is only for your own benefit, man. All right, like I said, you win this here war over there. What does your allies get out of that, man? All right, America gets all that, you know, I forgot what it's called, but landlocked lease or something like that. All right, the reason that America's sending these billions and billions and billions of dollars to Ukraine, knowing good and goddamn well they can't pay this shit back. It's like giving somebody, you know, you give Jake $1 million credit limit on a credit card, like, let this nigga go spend it up. This nigga's in debt for the rest of his life. Like, nigga, you ain't got $1 million, so what the hell am I gonna give you a credit card for with $1 million limit on there so you can just go run it all up? And now, like, bro, well, we know he gonna be in debt. You got certain, you know, certain, how they say, you got certain things tied to it. You know what I'm saying? I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of, but you got certain things tied to it. It's like, look, when he got a house, his house is only worth $40,000. He got a car, his car worth like $10,000 or whatever. But see, guess what? The collateral for you not being, we'll let him get this $1 million off real quick. He can go spend it all up. But all that shit he buying with that $1 million is gonna get repossessed. But look, we'll wind up, you know, taking his little $40,000 home that he did have, his car that he did have. So the resources that he did have, we didn't took all those resources from him by loaning him out certain, you know, certain things, man. That's how this here debt works, man. But America has this like landlocked lease or whatever it is over on Ukraine. Knowing good and damn well they can't pay this here money back. But it's like, look, you know, we'll guarantee that, you know, we'll give you this here money, but in return we get military bases in your land, you know, and to be able to develop over there for X amount of years to basically get the resources, man. All right, this is the point of why he transgresses by that there wine. Let's go back into that Habakkuk 2:5. Yea, also because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man and neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and as his death cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. All right, I believe in the NLT it says swallowed up all these different nations, man. All right, all these different people, man, going into what their resources, man. This is what you over there for, is for the resources, man. All right, not because of these people need you over there, but because you're going to plunder these different nations, man. All right, because you went in and stole from all these different people, man. So going into these things, man, again, who's benefiting from these things? Are your allies getting the benefit from any of these things, man? Nah, man. All right, your top elites are. You know, when Halliburton and KBR and Halliburton went over there, that no big governmental contracts to rebuild Iraq and everything else like that. None of your allies that was sending manpower, using fuel, bombs, and everything else like that to help you blow up Iraq and shit, none of them got to benefit from that. Dick Cheney and his private company was the only people that got to benefit from those things, man. The regular everyday Americans didn't even get to benefit from any of those things, man. But yet and still, you know, the regular everyday Americans sent their sons, their daughters, their brothers, and everybody else over there to go over there and fight for that damn war, man. And you ain't got no benefits from it. So if they do that to you American citizens, how much more these other nations, man? So now these nations have to consider, man, hey, do we stick it out with America, you know what I'm saying? Or do we plan and plot to deceive her, man? Do we plan and plot to overthrow her? And we already know about what the scriptures say. All right, let's just quickly get to that real quick. This Revelation 18 and verse, or 17 and verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. And this is what you're starting to see right now, man. These nations are starting to hate America over the things that they got going on. They're starting to wake up from this Babylonian juice that they've been drinking down, all right, been lied to about, and everything else like that, man. They're starting to wake up to all these things, man. They're starting to see, hey, man, we're not really benefiting from this situation. We need to go ahead and break free. We need to go ahead and set ourselves awry. We need to go ahead and try to make things right, you know, where it's dealing with America has really got us in a backwards place, man. All right, so hey, all these different things are bringing America out to the front line, man. All these different things are bringing America out to I don't know if I've read that already or not, but yeah, we read it already. But just to reiterate about all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. Well, we didn't read it in the KJV, but in the KJV it says all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee out to the border. All right, brought you out to the war frame, man. All right, brought you, called you out, man. Hey, look, enough is enough, man. All right, you know how you have the dissidence between Macron and America, because Biden them saying, look, we're gonna defend every inch of NATO, which Ukraine ain't a part of NATO, but we're gonna defend every inch of NATO, and whatever Russian them is about, we're gonna match that same energy, bro. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And Macron's like, hold up. That's what they gonna do. We don't want no nuke talk. We not talking about shooting nukes on nobody. Nukes ain't even in our vernacular right now. In fact, let me tell you what we just did with our nukes. We just put our nukes up all the way the fuck up. We took them off the ready standard and everything. We don't got no nuke talk at all. You know what I'm saying? In fact, our people saying that we shouldn't even be arming Ukraine no more. In fact, we're gonna stop sending money over there, man. All right, so now you start to see this here divide between America. Oh, y'all gonna do what? Oh, y'all gonna do, look how they treated Germany, man. Oh, y'all wanna pull out of this? Y'all don't wanna keep financing them? Y'all don't wanna abide by the sanctions? We're gonna blow up the goddamn pipeline, so y'all gonna be forced to do all these things, man. And what do you think is gonna happen with these nations when they start seeing and thinking about these things, man? Hey, man, they didn't blow up our damn pipeline. Now people over here freezing throughout the wintertime. Energy crisis, prices is going all the way up. Can't afford food already in this economic downturn. You got riots and protests in our streets nowadays because our civilian population is economically destroyed, all because of what you doing. And now they mad at us because we still on your goddamn side and keep arming Ukraine when they don't want to be down with this shit no more, man. We need to worry about us first right about now. You know how they say when Trump was in office, we need to think about America first. We need to put America first. These other nations are gonna be, France, like, we need to go France first, man. Fuck this EU shit. They've been talking about getting getting rid of the EU, man. A lot of those nations don't really like being in the damn EU, and the EU is pretty much functions as one nation. All right, you know, it's pretty much a borderless, one big borderless nation. But a lot of those nations, like scripts say, they're partly strong and partly weak. Some of them nations, the weaker nations benefit by being a part of the bigger nations. The bigger nations don't really benefit from being part of the weaker nations, man. You know, it's just like a man and a woman in a relationship. 9 times out of 10, you know, because men, we don't really be thinking about what economically, what this woman could bring to the table and everything else like that. You know, men, we holler at bitches at McDonald's or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's up, girl? Holler this chick at the McDonald's. But see, women wouldn't date no dude that's working at McDonald's, right? Because see, she's the weaker vessel in this scenario, man. She get with you, she move into your house, and you provide for her ass, man. It's not really the other way around. So, hey, look, yeah, it benefits for her. It's a liability unto you, but unto her, you an asset, man. Hey, yeah, I need to find me a dude with some good money because that's going to be my come up out here, man. You know what I'm saying? Not saying in a gold digger scenario, but just in reality, man. All right? You know what I'm saying? This is why men don't care about women's economic status or where they work at and all their career and all this stuff because, hey, what kind of woman is really trying to take care of a man? No matter how much money this here woman make, she's not going to want to be with you if she got to sit there and financially take care of you. That's like her having another son. So, but as a man, you know what I'm saying? It's like for a woman to have a house and for you to move into her house, live up in her spot, have her buy you a car and everything else like that, that's very far and few. But for the other way around, like, well, yeah, I had to go buy my old lady a car. I had to move my old lady into my house. I had to pay the bills for me and my old lady and everything else like that. That's almost a normal thing to do, man. All right, so, hey, you have some of these nations to where it's like, yo, for a man, it don't really benefit him getting with a woman that has all this here debt, man. She got all this goddamn student loan debt. She got 5 babies, 4 baby daddy, or 4 babies, 5 baby daddies. You know what I'm saying? It don't really benefit me from getting with this here woman and everything. What's going on, man? It don't really benefit me with getting with, what's up, man? It don't really benefit me getting with this here woman with all this here debt and everything else like that, man. That's actually a liability for me right now, man. She got $100,000 in the student loan debt. She got all these kids and everything else like that, and so on and so forth. It's a benefit for her, for me to get with her, but for me, it's a liability. All right, that's like America or not America. Some of these weaker EU nations are some of the weaker ones, man. Man, if us being attached to these folks, man, you know what I'm saying? We gotta support them where they weak at, and they trying to support us where we strong or where we weak at. But they ain't even really got enough to hold us up, man. We could do better all by our damn self. Just like, again, the relationship with a man and woman. Well, if I can afford to put a roof over my own head, pay for my own groceries and everything else like that, why the fuck would I want to bring you in the house? I mean, I can provide for you too, but why would I want to bring you in my household and you got all this extra debt? You know what I'm saying? You can't provide for yourself, so like, what the fuck? But, hey, these nations starting to wake up to these scenarios, just like how some of these men starting to see, hey, that's a liability to be with that chick. Is a liability. It's not really an asset. She ain't really bringing nothing to build on to this. If anything, she's taking away from this, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, a decent woman like that, she wouldn't have all that damn debt for you to have to take off the plate, but she can help you in a sense of getting some money some type of way, versus a woman is like, look, come with me, I got 5 kids, I got X amount of hundreds of $1,000s in the debt. I'm like, bitch, I'd have been better off by myself. I ain't had no student loan debt. The fuck, I'm about to get with you, marry you, now I got student loan debt. The fuck? But, hey, that's what these nations are starting to look at right about now, man. That's what's making these nations are starting to sober up from these things, man. Yeah, she was fine and everything else like that, but she got so much money in student loan debt. Nigga, I ain't even go to college. The fuck, I'm about to pick up student loan debt just by laying down with this here woman. You know what I'm saying? And shooting up her club, man. I done laid down with this here woman and what popped off over here? It's like I done laid down with this here woman for a fun night. She done wound up pregnant, and I done came out the you know, she didn't benefit because she got the baby daddy, she got the alimony, the child support, and everything else like that. She got an 18-year paycheck coming in, and shit. What did I pick up? You know, student loan debt, 18 years of child support, and X, Y, and Z. Man, hey, this was a bad trade-off deal for me. You know, and this is what these nations are looking at, man. All right, what happened with us? We were supposed to be together so that we didn't have this threat from Russia, but now we didn't got to smoke with Russia right about now, man. And they didn't even want to smoke with us, man, because they was getting money up off of us. But now all of a sudden, America put us in this rock and this hard spot, man. All right. Going back to that Habakkuk 2:5, yea, also because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man and neither keepeth at home. Shalak, give me a second. I don't know what the hell done popped off right there. But it says he is, yea, also because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man and neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and as his death cannot be satisfied, but gathers unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And again, he want all these people up under him for what? The resources, man. All right? And it's not that he want to just move everybody into his house, you know what I'm saying, for just to take, oh, I'm going to bring you into my house and take care of you and take care of your family. Y'all just live with me. I want y'all to have a better life. Nah. He bring you into his house because he needs servants. Like, look, I need a maid. You know what I'm saying? I need somebody to clean my house. You can move in as long as you clean my house. Keep my house clean. You can move in as long as you, you know, keep cooking and everything else like that. You can move in as long as you keep cutting the grass and everything else like that. You can move in as long as you paying this here bill and everything else like that, man. So, hey, this is the reasons why they have these things going on, you know, for the resources from these people, man. All right? It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunted proverb against him and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, and how long to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. All right, and hey, how long to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Now we was talking about that a little earlier about how America's GDP versus their debt. All right, their GDP is what I forgot, it was like 19 trillion or something like that, but their debt, you know, or it's damn near 20 trillion, right? But their debt is 30 trillion. Right, so every year, as of right now, they're going $10 trillion into debt. And like I said, that's not something that you could just say, oh, well, every year they're going $10 trillion into debt. Hey, I believe it was like not too long ago when Obama was in office, it was like every year they was going $1 trillion into debt. All right, every year. And that wasn't that long ago, man. All right, so, hey, just think about in that same time frame, but from then until now, you didn't increase from $1 trillion a year into debt into having $10 trillion a year into debt. So how much more, you know, in the next couple of years, hey, they might be looking at 20, 40, $100 trillion a year in the debt, man. All right, you spending yourself into oblivion, man. All right, how long to him that ladeth himself with thick clay? How long, like I gave the example earlier about, you know, you in this apartment, your rent is $500 a month, right? But you only make $400 to be able to pay off $400 every month with your rent. All right, so again, first month, $500 bill, right? So now you can only afford $400. So you pay off the $400, you left with $100 in a debt. Next month come around, still $500, you pay off that same $400. Now that $500, you got that $100 from the last one. So now you $600 in the debt for the next one, and so on and so forth, man. All right, how long you gonna keep doing that, man? You done did this for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, and now you know your monthly your monthly rent was only $500, but now because you didn't added so much debt on top, now you up to $50,000 a month in the rent, man. All right, you know you got your regular $500. But then you got the extra $100 from every other month that's been adding up to like what, $50,000 a month in the rent. So what do? Do you cut ties? Do you break away from all these things, or you just keep going into debt, man? All right. How long to him that ladeth himself with thick clay? All right. It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, and how long that layeth himself with thick clay? All right, how long are you going to keep increasing that which is not his, man? How long are you going to keep going up into the borders of these different nations? How long are you going to keep invading all these other countries? And, hey, the same thing is being said. Like I said, currently you over in the midst of Ukraine. All right, now, before you even leave up out of Ukraine, you over here trying to bombard Taiwan. All right, how long are you going to keep going up into these different people's nations? How long are you going to keep stealing their resources? How long are you going to keep lading yourself with this here debt, man? How's it going? How long are you going to be keep putting yourself into this here rocky spot, man? Eventually, you're going to turn the whole world into your enemies, man. You got people that, again, like Germany and France and the EU, that you reckon their economies and things like that, man, putting them in a hard spot. You got other countries that you done bombarded with bombs and missiles, that they got a sour taste in their mouth. They don't like you because you done bombed the hell out of them. You got other folks that you got, it's just like in the real world out here, man. You know what I'm saying? You got enemies at Visa, MasterCard, AT&T, and Sprint, because you didn't have so much of you've had so much of credit that you didn't pay back. Now you got debt collectors over here. You got, that's the modern day bill enemy, man. You got debt collectors and things like that, because all of a sudden, hey, you done made enemies with these folks, man. You done took out these lines of credit and never paid them back, man. People are gonna come after you over those scenarios as well too, where it's to the point where, hey man, you what's up, man? You got to the point where it's like you took out all this here loans, all these here credits, you can't pay these things back. So what do you think is gonna happen at the end all be all, man? You've created all these different enemies on every side, man. That's like the scripture say, hey, terror shall we'll read that here in a second, but but terror is coming upon you from every side. You're not gonna know from whence it rises up. Whether it's the debt collectors that's coming around looking for you, whether it's the people that you done bombed and invaded that still got these sour tastes in their mouths, or overthrown their governments and things like that, whether it's your own allies, you done cut them off from resources and put them into economic woes and things like that, man. You're not gonna know why, but back in the days, everybody say, hey, why does everybody hate America? Oh, they hate us because of we got freedom. Like, man, they don't hate you because they got freedom. Most of the time you would say, hey, they hate you because you done invaded their country, you bombed the hell out their country. You know what I'm saying? What you done did to them in the past and stuff like that. Japan don't like you because you dropped atomic bombs on their ass, man. Of course they wouldn't like you over that shit, man. They ain't forgot about that. You know what I'm saying? But they keep your friends close and your enemies closer, man. All right? But then you gonna have some other nations like, look, why does Germany and France hate us? Hey, well, you starved these niggas out, all right? Corrupted their economies, all right? And blew up the pipelines over there so that they couldn't get no natural gas to heat them throughout the winter and everything else like that, man. All right? Bankrupted the whole civilian population. All right, Russia. Why Russia don't like you? Well, because you putting bombs in Taiwan, or China, you putting missiles and missile defense systems and bombs and shit on their borders, causing war, man. All right, all these different nations are realizing, man, we can't live a regular life because America keep doing their bullshit, man. People in Ukraine and people on Russia, both sides, they was living perfectly fine until America decided to go bring weapons over here, man. And I showed me somebody that can refute that, man. All right, before America decided putting their weapons over there and all these different things, Russia was not invading them. Russia wasn't over here. This all started, you can go back to the Maidan coup that happened over here, which it was America overthrowing a damn government, man. So all these things was predicated off of the start of America. Now all these people let's keep reading. It says, verse 6, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb to say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, and how long and to him that layeth himself with thick clay? Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booty unto them? All right, so hey, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booty unto them? Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee because of men's blood and for the violence of the land and of the city and all that dwell therein. All right, so hey, because of all the violence of you going in and bombarding all these different nations, bombing them and economically, cutting them off. All right, that's. Hey man, in a sense, hey, I would kind of rather be at a hot war, getting bombed to hell and back from another country than to be cut off economically, man. Economically, it's just like, fuck, man. We just here like how we at now, but they didn't cut us off from trade, gas. The gas pumps is all dry. Yeah, that's more of a psychological mind fuck right there, man. Look, bro, hey, look, gas ain't coming in. All the gas stations is we just experienced this here recently with the hurricane, right? Every gas station you go by is all out of gas. All the pump. They got some gas stations I seen where they was just out there plastic wrapping the whole damn pump up. Saran wrapped the whole damn pump, man, with bright ass yellow. Not just the gas handle pump itself. It is out of service. Not a whole damn pump itself. So you couldn't even put no card in that bad boy, man. Hey, we out of gas for a while, man. And we ain't getting no trucks no time soon. So, hey, man, imagine you seeing that everywhere you go. Oh, man, we can't get no gas to put into the car. Not to mention they needed their generators, but let's just say you needed gas for your car, man, just to get to work. Fuck, man, I got one more point at work. If I be late, don't show up to work, man, motherfucker, I'm about to get fired. I can't even get enough gas to go to work. How the fuck am I gonna get a paycheck to get dinner? You know what I'm saying? And I can't even get to the grocery store. This and that, man. We got problems out here, man. That's a slow death. You see your future slowly but surely coming to an end. All right? It's like you've been in a house, or apartment or something. You done lost your job. You know, rent coming up, the lights coming up. You know, all right, fuck it. We're gonna just not pay the light bill right now. We can at least be in the dark, keep the water on. You know what I'm saying? And pay the rent. We can be in the dark in this motherfucker. We'll just go to bed early. You know what I'm saying? And when it's daytime, we'll just open the blinds. You know what I'm saying? We'll just rock it like that. But you slowly and you miserable, man. It's hot up in the goddamn apartment and shit. Can't cook, can't do nothing after dark. Can't charge your phone. And you just constantly reminded, my days in this bitch is numbered, man. All right, then the water get cut off, man. Can't flush the toilet and everything else like that, man. But at least you still got the roof over your head, man. Another month go by. Now it's like, damn, we late on the rent. You know what I'm saying? They give us an X amount of time. 30 days to be late. Now we 2 months late. No lights, no water. Now you get into the third month, they about to hit the eviction notice. All right, we got 30 days before they come and evict us. Hey, man, you that's 3 fucking months that you sitting there knowing that you about to be down and out because you ain't got no damn job. But it's just constantly hitting you every single day, man. All right, versus just one day you come home and your whole goddamn apartment is gone. Like, well, fuck, all this here is gone. We got to go find a new house and new this and that. A little different than that, man. But, hey, this is what you have going on right now, man. You have all these different, how do I say, economic woes coming upon these different nations. All right. Let me go and read this. Matter of fact, we'll close out with that. Boom. Job 18:7 says, "The steps of his strength shall be straightened; his own counsel shall cast him down. For he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare." It says, "Hey, he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare." Because, hey, look. Just like Obadiah 1:7 goes into about his allies turning against him and everything else like that, man. And it's about to rain. His allies turning against him and everything else like that. He don't realize that, hey, things like the Nord Stream 2 pipeline blowing that bad boy up is creating enemies out of allies, man. Him over here condemning and talking all this shit with Saudi Arabia and them's like, all right, well, fuck it. We got a new plan. We're going to make money regardless. We don't need you to make money. You know what I'm saying? And then plus in a time like this, what are a lot of these nations like Saudi Arabia, what do they benefit from being on the American side and being a puppet, man? All right, they benefit, because you had the same scenario that went on with Trump and Saudi Arabia. He was like, well, fuck it, we'll pull all of our arms up out of Saudi Arabia. They'll fall in a week. They ain't got no protection over there. Who the fuck is going to protect them? You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, who? Russia. Russia up here to be a guardian to these other nations. So look, if Russia being a natural gas and energy exporter to the nations, link up with Saudi Arabia, they pretty much can cross America up out of there, man. Because America don't produce nothing. They're not a producer nation of anything, man. Or they produce like the three top things that they produce is basically arms, like guns, bullets, missiles, and everything else like that. Lockheed Martin, NATO, all that shit is being funded by America, man. All right, they produce that. They produce entertainment, sports, and pornography. All right, and other than that is war and propaganda. You know what I'm saying? But those are the top 3 things that they produce on the earth, man. As their, producer status of a nation. They're not a producer. They're more of a consumer nation. They consume everything else up. They import everything. They don't export really anything. Their top 3 exports, like I said, is arms, entertainment, and pornography, basically. You know what I'm saying? But this is the top 3 things that they export. But, hey, well, Russia, all right, they were like, well, fuck it. We can get Saudi Arabia. We can export our natural gas and energy and also arms and everything else like that. We can knock America up out of this here position. We can keep on moving, man. All right? Hey, why do the heathens rage and imagine a vain thing? They think that they're going to be up to rule next, man. But the Lord is going to cut them asunder, man. Or they say, let us cut the Lord's bands asunder. Let us get rid of the Lord and everything else like that. Hey, the Lord's about to take them up out of power, man. Take them up off their pedestals and everything else like that, man. All right? It says, somebody just crashed or what? It says, going back into it, it says, for he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare. The gin shall take him by the heel, and the robber shall prevail against him. All right, because, hey, we just read about how all these other nations were going to plunder and spoil you. All right, so, hey, the scripture also said they was going to prevail against you, man. So it's not like, you know, oh, they can try and we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. If America get invaded, this is what we're gonna do. Hey man, you see, there's a channel I used to watch, but now it's starting to look like it ain't nothing but more than propaganda. All right, that's just what it is. What's it called? Not InfoWars, but it's like almost like a cartoon type channel. But anyway, they show you infographics or something like that. They show you all these different things. What if a world war broke out? How would this happen? How would that happen? What would happen if this and that? And all the ones they did a couple of them on Ukraine and Russia recently. They kept saying all these different things about how Russia's found out that Russia's military wasn't all that advanced and all this and that. Man, just recently over the last week, you actually just had Russia that was like actually bombing some shit for real, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's still a lightweight bombardment of shit that's over there, man. All right, in retaliation of them bombing that bridge and the Nord Stream 2 pipeline over there, man. Russia was like, all right, well, fuck it then. We're going to start bombing some of y'all buildings, bombing some ammo depots. Because before that's all they was bombing was ammo depots, if that. And it was very far and few in between. But now, they just like, we're going to start unloading on their ass, man. Like I said, you ain't really seen Russia using top military equipment over there. You know what I'm saying? They got a whole lot more military equipment that they could be using, but hey, you don't really see none of that stuff actually being used over there at this point in time. But yet you listen to these propaganda piece channels and they're telling you about how, oh, Russia's got outdated military equipment, they're getting flat tires and things like that. You telling me that a nation like Russia, in all this time, they can't afford to upgrade their tires and shit like that, something simple like that? Going to the propaganda that's like, hey man, well, they ain't really this and that. Hey man, like I said, all they got to do, which we know according to the scriptures what's going to happen, but let's say they did use nukes. All they had to do was be accurate one time, all right? And hey, you listen to the American, military men. They missile defense system can't handle Russia's bombardment of missiles, man. All right, and America's nuclear defense system, all right, is not even upgraded or up to par. They actually have the deteriorated equipment and things like that, man. America really never really had to upgrade their military systems because why? They pretty much won war by the the fear tactic. People already knew what they was dealing with America, not just America, but with NATO. All right, they had a big conglomeration of nations, so they was like, well, fuck, we don't want them to come over here because we seen what they did with Japan. They could do this and that. So America never really had to pull out the big guns. What nation did America really have to pull big guns out on? None really. You know what I'm saying? They had air superiority and things like they could drop smaller bombs on you. They had NATO to come out with you and all these other nations to follow along with you. But as far as having to pull out the big guns, they never really had to use all these things, man. So they never had a situation where they had to so-called upgrade their nukes and nothing else like that. Plus, they had what they call a preemptive strike doctrine. All right, everybody else knew about it. Like, well, fuck it. At any point in time, they could just drop a nuke on us as a preemptive strike. We wouldn't even know what's coming, so we would just want to fall back. So the fear of that alone just kept people at bay. America never had to really upgrade their systems. But let me read through this because it's starting to rain. It's Job 18 and 8. It says, for he is cast into a net by his own feet, he walketh upon a snare. The gent shall take him by the heel, and the robber shall prevail against him. It says, the snare is laid for him in the ground, and the trap for him in the way. All right, and again, going into the things that we were reading, these are part of all the snares and the traps that's turning his friends into enemies. Terror shall make him afraid on every side and shall drive him to his feet. You know, I was speaking on this a little earlier about how, you know, you're not going to, these people that's coming, the robbers that's coming to get you, you don't know why they want to rob you. Why these people so-called hate you? They hate you because why? Couple reasons. You done bombed their country, bombarded their nation with bombs and everything else like that, overthrowing some nations' governments, all right, cut off certain nations of their energy and supplies and things like that. All right, you done put your military up under these nations' borders. So, hey, you starting to see all these different nations have a different hatred for you for different reasons, man. All right, it's not just for one reason. You know, people used to say, oh, they hate us for our freedoms. But no, it's a lot of different reasons, man. All right. It says, his strength shall be hunger bitten, and destruction shall be ready at his side. It shall devour the strength of his skin. Even the firstborn of death shall devour his strength. It says, his confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the king of terrors. All right. It says, it shall dwell in his tabernacle because it is none of his. Brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation. So, hey, it's going to bring him to the king of terrors, and that brimstone, talking about those thermonuclear missiles, is going to be in his habitation, man. All right, it's going to rain down upon him. The Most High says it's going to rain upon him while he is eating. All right, so, hey, going into these things, man, we see that these prophecies are taking place. These prophecies are coming to fulfillment, man. All right, America's making a lot of enemies out of their allies, man. America's cutting itself off from all the things that so-called made it strong. Your military allies, y'all roll up deep and everything else like that. Hey, them cats is go, you know, that partnership is going out the window, man. That love for one another is going out the window, man. All right, your petrodollar is being propped up by Saudi Arabia and things like that, and they cutting you up out of that picture as well too, man. All right, you know, the so-called peace with these other nations and everything else like that, man. Stealing of all these other nations and overthrowing governments and things like that, man. That so-called sainthood veil that's been over your face the whole time, all right, that so-called proper nation status is being lifted up, man. Your skirt is being lifted up. Let me read that real quick. I said I was going to close out right there, but I'm about to close out because, like I said, it's starting to rain anyway. Obadiah 1, and let me just start at the top. 1 is verse 2. It says, Obadiah 1:1, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith Yahweh power concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. So, hey, and all these nations are rising up against you right now in battle, man. They're all looking at you and putting you in the scope, man. They all looking at you as like, yo, she being right for the taking right about now, man. This is the man that caused the world to be a wilderness and destroyed all the kingdoms thereof. All right, how long did him that laid himself with thick clay? And because you didn't spoil all these other nations, we finna spoil your ass, man. All right, none of us is happy about, look, one thing that we all got in common, we might not like them because of their religious background. We might not like them because of their whatever background they got. We might not like them for their background. But the one thing we all got in common is none of us like you. You didn't spoil us all. Y'all spoiled all of us. So guess what? We about to, and we all broke. Hey, man, we're going to have to get it from you now. You done stole all the resources from us. And if we want to get our resources back, we all got one thing in common. All of our resources are in your vote. We finna team up together and go and spoil your ass, man. All right, verse 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. And so now all these other nations, like I said, are calling you out. All these other nations are looking at you as food now. All these other nations are looking at you as like, yo, that's the target, man. All right, we got small problems. Our problems are small, man. But they got major problems, man. All right, you know, you're talking about, we got some small terrorist groups over here that's over here causing some troubles in our society, but they overthrowing entire governments, and they got a real military, man. We could worry about these little terrorist groups and, like, we could use the military up against them. You know what I'm saying? Or, like, let's say in Mexico, you got the cartel that's going on. Yeah, we can get rid of them if we really tried. If we really wanted to with our military and shit like that. But we don't want them to come over with, like, in reality, look at the cartel situation. Like, the cartel ain't the problem. Who the fuck is funding the cartel, man? All right, Operation Fast and the Furious, Eric Holder and Barack Obama and them and all that's going on. Hey, that's really the cartel problem right there is America, man. We get rid of them, no more cartel, man. We good to go. So now, hey, look, you starting to be greatly despised by all these different nations. All these different nations are looking at you as like, yo, you the problem, you the cancer of the earth, man. You're the one that's making the earth to wail. All right, you're the one that's making the earth to cry out and everything that there is to cry out, man. But hey, sooner or later, the Lord is about to take, you know, sooner rather than later, the Lord is about to take you off the face of the earth, man. You sit in the dust, O daughter of Chaldees, for there is no throne. All right, you know, thou that dwellest carelessly. All right, they said they weren't going to sit as be a widow or to see the loss of children. Now all these things are coming unto you in a day and an hour, man. All right, but I'm going to go ahead and close out with that. Lord willing, the elect was edified with this here lesson. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Kakudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone that taught us the truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, I can pushing his truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So next time, I say, stay strong. Shalom.